that
Objection,
he
Your
launched.
Honor. Hearsay. Lack of foundation.
What, if any, discussion did you have with him about a smear campaign?
Johnny told me that he would ruin me, that no one would ever touch me. Meaning,
Sorry about that, girls. The damn live streaming stopped.
That I'd never work again. That I'd be selling.
YouTube chat's having an
Depends, is
issue,
what
so
he
I can't
said.
see y'all's chat right now. So if y'all were telling me, bitch, you're not
And
live.
that he'd ruin my
Sorry.
career. And
Or you're not live with the
he
current
refused
video.
to
But here we are. Give me 1 second. I'll be on cam.
not engage with. Up until that point, he refused to not engage with the press by leaking.
Objection, Your Honor.
false
Calls for speculation.
How is that speculation?
This is what he's telling her, correct?
Right.
Okay, all right, I'll overrule the objection.
And up until that point, I was trying to, get him to call the dogs off, call it off, because it was forcing me into a position where he was calling me a liar and he was forcing me to prove it. And I knew that wasn't going to be good for him. And I kept saying, don't make me prove it. I don't want to. But he was calling me a liar and having a really sophisticated, very, very well-paid, very sophisticated PR machine.
Objection, Your
going
Honor.
overtime.
Calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
I'll move on. Let's go to Depp Exhibit, that's Plaintiff's Exhibit 357C. That's 12:30 to 16:30. I'm going to move the admission.
Any objection?
No objection, Your
All
Honor.
right, 357C in evidence.
All right. Michelle, if you complain.
I'm not, it's not about that. It would not be about me throwing you under the bus. You know what it would be? It would be released through documented people coming on the record and having the protection to do so that haven't had yet. It would be eyewitness statements. It would be evidence, tons of it, and it would be through years. And it would be unbelievable to imagine that either I'm in a secret fake club, or B, I've had
A secret what?
I've had a secret fight club, or that I have been plotting to do this for 3 years, and while taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it. But no one is going to believe that. No one is going to believe that one of the two alternatives, either I'm in a fight club, or I've been going through hair and makeup, or going through makeup through all these years, where I have corroborating text messages between people that match those dates of those timestamp validated photos of either corroboration between people hearing us, or corroboration of next day, Whitney sending text message to Kevin, him responding, or, the kind of stuff like between me and people in your life. It is insanely cross-corroborated then if it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years. While having this imaginary life run parallel to it. Do you understand that the pictures I have match with text messages to my mom back and forth about it, and text messages between, say, Raquel and my mom, or Raquel and my dad, or, between my two friends. Or there's a text message where I tell Jody the night before I had that James Corden night show thing, where I say, hey, Jody, I've had an accident. I think I have a busted lip, I may have a busted nose and 2 black eyes tomorrow, because I don't know how that will be until the morning and we may have to cancel. But, see up here. I don't know how I'm icing it, I just, I'll let you know in the morning, and things like that. It doesn't matter. There is nothing there. Nothing, and all of that won't be me throwing you in the bus. That will be evidence in this case, which it will be criminal as well, because I cannot go on Friday and file without filing a police statement first. And the only reason I haven't filed that police statement, which has been used against me, by the way, every day, and the only reason I won't do it, I haven't done it, is because I don't want to hurt you, and that means it goes out of my hands. And we had a third-party prosecutor come, and a criminal lawyer come, and they went, like, the problem is, hearing from you, like, your biggest struggle is that this is just, it's the most solid evidence case of domestic violence I've ever seen, and if you give this over to them or present any part of it, they will prosecute him. And I felt like I'm honest, like I would never want that for you. It's hard for me to even understand. I don't call myself, like, in my head, it's hard for me to even accept any sort of victimdom ever.
Can you please explain what the context of this was?
I was begging Johnny to not make me prove what I've had to sit on the stand.
That sounds like you're trying. It sounded like you were trying to blackmail him,
about.
bitch. That sounds like
I was
blackmail,
begging
honey.
not to do this and have to sit where I'm sitting today. I didn't want this. I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be there then. And I was trying to point out something to somebody who I thought did not have a firm grasp on reality.
Objection calls for speculation.
Honey, you must have been talking to the mirror, honey.
I was trying to point out
Hello, everybody, by the way. I'm sorry again for having it paused for
how
the first
absurd it
5
would
minutes.
be for him to keep making me prove this by calling me a liar. I was
Girl, you
trying
called
get
him to
not call me
blackmail
a
him,
liar,
honey, to
because
get him to drop
everything
it.
that I had said to date and everything I've said to date now is the truth.
No, honey.
And I was begging him not to make me prove it, that there were photos, that there were witnesses.
I read
There was my
online when I was
testimony.
going live getting ready.
There were years of me with
Now she's saying
injuries.
the makeup palette that was shown
On
was
the
not
days
the
when we were
makeup she used.
fighting,
Now
and they
she
were
used
documented.
theater
I
makeup.
mean, pictures from 2012. So I was trying to say to him, either you'd suppose that people would rather believe this is a hoax, elaborate, well-orchestrated, year-long campaign for what? Or that
But it's not a well
what? It
orchestrated
just seemed crazy.
campaign,
And I
honey.
thought no one was advising him in his best interest. I thought no one was
Hot
telling him the
mess.
truth. I know he's surrounded by yes men, and I thought nobody was saying to Johnny, this is crazy, don't do this.
Honey, you're the one that did it.
And I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want
Oh, the
to hurt him. I
lies.
loved him. I loved him.
Look
so
at her
much.
looking at her. She's looking at him saying, I didn't want to hurt you. She's
That's why
antagonizing
I'm
him.
explaining to him why I didn't file criminal charges. I didn't
love
file
you.
a police report, even though it was being used against me. I didn't want this to go to a prosecutor. I didn't want this
Maybe
to...
this is her talking to him now, begging that he'll just
Hurt
drop
Johnny.
the case.
I don't want this to hurt Johnny.
Oh, the lies.
Michelle, can you bring up Dep Exhibit 357D as in David? And that is 17
You know, it's funny.
25
She
to
probably can
17
run for office after this if she just grifts and jumps
Move
signs.
the admission, Your Honor.
All right, any
No
objection?
objection.
All right.
Or maybe like a left-wing super woke candidate.
I've
Baby.
been called a liar.
Baby.
And I've been called
Baby,
Girl,
baby.
is Theranos' urine in that bottle?
Amber, I didn't call you those things. I didn't call you those things.
I'm going to go on now to, can we go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 357E?
Totally a Fox News host.
And this is 21:47 to 22:37. I'm going to move the admission, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
357E. Thank you.
and you're stronger. And so when I say that I thought you could kill me, that doesn't mean you counter with you also that you lost your own finger. I am not trying to attack you here. I'm just trying to point out the fact of why I said.
I think she knows he was in addiction. She got in a bad situation with him, getting with him when he's on pills. She took advantage of him. She broke his finger, chopped it off, and thought she could really gaslight him into believing he did it because he's always high.
I never defended defend myself.
She's
that
like, whoop,
way.
this
I
will be a
never
money
let myself be a
ticket.
victim.
Right.
It's too fault,
How do you
know?
go from getting with Johnny
Yeah.
Depp to
And
Elon Musk, honey?
When they came, I did not cooperate with them. It has been used against me, not by the media, by your side.
And what are you referring to there?
Now she's trying to make him think, paranoid that his side's
I don't want
against
to call
him.
myself a victim. I don't like to think of myself as a victim, and I
Oh,
don't
you
want him to think I'm
liar.
attacking him or blaming him. I'm pointing out I didn't cooperate with the police.
Oh,
that I
really
didn't
fractured?
want to get him in trouble. That I didn't want to hurt him. I don't want anything
Well, I'll
from
have to
him.
check
Just
that
don't
out.
call me a liar. It's all I said. Just don't call me a liar.
Oh my
Just don't
God.
say this isn't real.
This is
Because I'm
insane.
the walking proof of it.
Did she think she would? You had a week to fake
Ask-
cry,
bring
Annie.
up Plaintiff's Exhibit, Dep Exhibit 357.
Fake
F as in
taking
Frank,
note.
24:04 to 24.
Girl, Chairman Mao. She does look like Chairman Mao, Lou.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 357F.
I have said only this from the very beginning. I only have my integrity. And the unfortunate thing is,
What about mine?
taking it a step further,
What about mine?
they keep taking, that's what it keeps, I'm trying to say to you, literally in words. I'm out of my mouth, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Every step of the way, I have said to them, the thing is, they're hurting Johnny by this, because every time that they call me a liar, or they say this is not true, or Steven says this text message is not actually happened, or that of your security guard, which by the way was a follow-up to your security guard saying they never saw abuse happening. The same security guard who, by the way, have said to me multiple times that I was going to get
Did you see how she opened her eyes and cut him at the jury? Like, believe me? Are you believing? Are you believing? Taking a pink?
What are you talking about there, Amber?
That even though Johnny told me
Her fake
that his
sniffles.
guards would say whatever he needed them to say, that they were the same guards who had told me that I would lose my life
Objection, Your
this
Honor.
way.
Hearsay.
All right, sustained objection.
It came in through the tape, so that's all right. We're fine. Let's go, Michelle.
Your
did you go
Honor.
to-
If we could approach.
What is she do? Why is she telling the judge why she should be? This is so unprofessional. Girl, her constantly picking at her nose to make it seem like it's draining. Girl, stop the madness, honey. Her cheeks would start getting swollen with fluid.
Michelle, can you bring up Dep Exhibit 357?
I wonder, she must have told her quick, look, stop it.
57G, and it's 26:00 to 26:28.
Oh, if they're going to show a colon, I might have to blur these.
Oh, move the admission. I'm sorry.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
Oh, obviously, they're going to have to say they didn't see it in front of me and other people that have heard them.
You're gonna have to do this under oath too, you know.
I will, because the unfortunate part is, I can talk
You can
about
even
all
hear
of
how
this.
manic
Do you
she
believe all
is
this,
here.
Amber?
Oh, they blacked
believe
out the
all-
monitor
Yeah,
brand.
Yes, yes.
You believe I'm an abuser. You believe I'm an abuser.
In May, in December, in April.
What were you referring
Do
to
you
with the May, December, and
remember?
April?
Just listing some of the times in which he beat me up and that he knew about.
Girl, this voice.
So I'm going to take you now fast forward
She
into
should
the
have been
July
in the Theranos
2016 timeframe.
movie
There was
series, a
mediation
television
that,
miniseries.
came about during that
She
time.
might have done a better job than the girl that got
What,
it.
if any, intent did you have to reconcile with Mr. Depp at the time of the mediation?
I wanted there to be no animosity. I wanted to minimize the animosity. I wanted to reconcile in that way. I didn't want to
the
get
blood
back together.
tests and
with him, if that
Edison
makes sense.
machines, totally.
Okay.
Oh,
Can
popped
you
your
just
mind.
briefly describe what transpired during the July
Can you
mediation?
briefly prescribe what transpired?
I even though I had a TRO,
Girl,
and
I
wanted
swear to God, by the end of this
move on
trial,
with my
Johnny
life,
Depp is going to
the
have a whole damn buffet
campaign I
spread. Now
mentioned
he's got like a
earlier,
little
the smear
soup
campaign,
container,
article
honey.
after article, the hounding me, the leaking fake.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Okay.
Please explain. Please
What I
explain.
was meeting with him about is because he had, put these things out in the media. It seemed like every
Objection,
day there
Your
was a new
Honor.
attack. and
Calls for
something to
speculation,
stop.
lack of foundation.
All right.
Did Mr. Depp discuss with you that he was putting these out in the media?
What time is
Objection
the trial
leading.
ending? Isn't it ending an extra
Yes.
hour? Or something like that.
He told
Later
me he
than
would tell
normal.
his team to back off and to back off effectively if I agreed to do certain things. One of which, he wanted me to drop charges. He wanted, or some version of that. He wanted me
Okay, thank you for that,
get
Jen.
back together with him and go on tour with him in the tour bus. He wanted me to do certain things that I thought were impossible and that would definitely go against all of everything that I stood for and had earned in getting my TRO, getting my restraining order, and moving on. But I had to break the TRO in order to beg him to stop.
She got her
the
restraining
machine, the
order
press machine,
just like a
because I
quick
was-
one. It
I-
wasn't a
feeling like I
long-term
couldn't
one.
live my
It was the
life.
one
I
they
was
give
being
you,
dropped
where
from
they just
opportunities,
instantly
commercial
believe you to give it to you
opportunities.
just in
People were
case
turning on me.
they were to turn their back and you get
campaigner shot
murdered,
dropped me.
from my
I mean, it was just-
understanding.
I had never been inundated with that much press. Every single day, me and my family were, and every witness, anyone who even indirectly supported me, got bombarded. And the media
Objection.
campaign
Calls for
was,
speculation, lack of foundation.
I'll sustain just the last part of that. All right. Next question.
Okay.
Oh, she is.
We heard Christian
Schumer
Carino
is.
testify earlier. Can you describe to the jury what your relationship was with Christian Carino?
he was my commercial agent, meaning he handled things like campaigns for a short amount of time, and then became Johnny's agent around the time of the divorce. He was a kind of mutual friend at the time between Johnny and I, and so he helped us kind of negotiate or mediate a time where we could meet, and my goal in that was to just beg Johnny to stop doing this.
Objection, non-responsive.
I hope they do cross pretty soon.
What, if any, desire did you have to return to Mr. Depp after the divorce?
None.
Now, you heard Mr. White testify that he engaged in negotiations with you during the settlement process of the divorce. What, if any, discussions did you have with Mr. White?
None. The first time I saw him was on the testimony screen in the UK during the UK trial. I've never spoken to him.
So he didn't negotiate your settlement?
No, he did not.
What was important to you in the divorce negotiations?
The statement. That was it. The statement. I wanted a mutual statement, and I wanted him to call get the press out of this. Just make a statement, and in that statement, clear my name. I wanted to clear my name. It's all I have.
Especially
I
now.
said this to him too, and he knew this. All I have is my name. I come from nothing. All I have is my integrity. All I have is my name.
Well, honey, your integrity's
And
gone.
that's exactly what he promised to take from me.
Oh my
Why
God,
did
could you
agree to
imagine if
accept
Nightbot
$7
censored
million
itself?
as your settlement?
I didn't care about the money. I was told if I didn't agree to a number, that it could be overturned. That this would never actually.
Girl,
It would never
money
get
is
completed,
important in
would
the
never
life. You're not going to
Objection,
tell me you
hearsay.
didn't care about the money. Because it, I don't care how poor or how
What was your
rich you are.
understanding?
Money matters, especially when you're getting
If
a
I didn't
divorce.
agree to a number, it would be
And there's
overturned.
nothing
So I took
shameful in caring about the
far
money.
less than
but
what
her
they were offering
lying
and what I was
saying
entitled
she
to.
didn't care about the money
And
is so
why
untruthful.
did you donate it to charity?
I promised the entirety of it to charity because I was never interested in Johnny's money.
Okay.
And in the divorce, I just wanted my safety. I wanted to move on with my life. I wanted my future. And then he started compromising that, calling me a liar, making it impossible for me to move on. By doing so that I wanted the truth. I wanted him to clear my name and to leave me alone. I've been saying that since 2016.
Oh my God.
So why did you donate?
You can't go around lying on
3.5 to
people and then
Children's
expect people to
Hospital
leave you
and
alone, Sally
3.5 to
Mae.
ACLU?
Well, I pledged the first half, or 3.5, to Children's Hospital because I've been working there as a volunteer for well over a decade. I knew the facility well. I'd worked there with another nonprofit, is how I got
You
affiliated
worked
with them.
there,
And I knew they could use the
girl.
resources.
You mean
I
you
was
got a
familiar
tax
with it.
write-off in your taxes, honey?
And,
What about the ACLU?
and then ACLU because I was a supporter, because I believed in the work they were doing. I believed that they were doing good work for people who deserved it.
Why did you make the donations over a period of time as opposed to just a lump sum?
Because she lied.
Two reasons. The short of it is because I was receiving the settlement in installments. I was receiving the installments over time. Second of all, so I could get the tax benefit of paying overtime. You know, it's my understanding that's how you pay these like large sums. You pay it over time.
Did you make any
I believe
payments
she was honest
towards
with
these
that.
donations?
I did.
Okay. Approximately how much?
I allowed for the first installment, which is $100,000 to each. That came straight from Johnny in 2016. I followed up with $350,000 that year, 2016. 2018, I did another. Oh, and I also donated to $250,000 to Art of Elysium, which is the affiliate I was just speaking about, that does the work in the Children's Hospital. It was not going to count
Elysium's
towards
a good
my overall
movie.
pledge, but I did that too. And then I did another donation to each in 2018. And then Johnny sued me, 2019.
Before we get to that, did anyone make donations to the Children's Hospital or ACLU on your behalf? During
Oprah
that time?
Winfrey?
Yes, Elon also, Elon, who was my boyfriend at the time, had his own
name
charitable
drop.
contributions that he made. He made $500,000 to both in my
Be funny
honor
if she's
and
like,
my
I don't know who
name,
that is, honey. Can you
in
explain who Elon Musk is?
2017, I believe.
And have you completely fulfilled your donations to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital?
I have not yet,
And why not?
because Johnny sued me for $50 million in March of 2019. And
Well,
I
what's
have
a million
spent over
gonna
$6
do?
million.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a motion in limine.
That part was supposed to come in.
All right, once you come forward, let's take a look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the way she intimidates the jury by, looking at them and doing the faces. Uh-oh, honey, they getting the big book, honey. Girl, they getting the binder, honey. That judge could have got her ass up out of that chair and got that crap herself. I'm just saying, a judge cannot get up. I don't know if many people know this that are not familiar with the United States juror system, but the judge does not wear pants when proceeding above the law. It's some weird, I don't know, it was written into the Constitution. But yeah, she's just wearing that top and nothing below, no panties or anything. So if she would have stood up, honey, it would have been a mess. Now the dude next to Johnny Depp today on the left doesn't look that happy. He's always normally very, smiley and happy. Doesn't look him right now. It must be a
Pop star.
pop star. We're just waiting on the judge. Yeah. We're just waiting on the judge. Yeah. Oh, he messed his finger up. The dude back there. Y'all see his fangy? Looking like Freddy Krueger with that thing. How's everybody doing, first and foremost? I got the chat popped up on my other monitor today because for some reason the YouTube Studio live stream chat system's down. I tested it on multiple computers. It's down, honey. Apparently, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's trial is breaking the internet. If you're just joining, I'm Church of Deborah. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, I'd really appreciate it. I was supposed to cover this trial from the beginning of the process before lunch, but girl, I could not get myself up, honey. It was just, I don't know, way too early, honey. Way too early for this girl. But if you look to the left of Johnny Depp, we've got a soup container. I'm telling you, Johnny Depp is just getting everything inside. He's got his Crayolas, his little skull packs, girl. I mean, if I was his lawyer, I would not have allowed this, but then again, they're trying to play it off that he is very eccentric, and this proves it, honey, because, girl, she's coming in there with the markers, all this different art, just so she can draw, honey. And I'm loving how they put up the blackout tape to cover up the brand now. Girl, we've been into this trial for over 3 weeks. It's a little late, honey.
So going back to that, then, could you afford to continue making payments to the ACLU and Children's Hospital?
No.
Okay. What, if
little
any,
late,
intention do you have to fulfill your pledges and donations to these organizations?
I still fully intend to honor all of my pledges. I would love for him to stop suing me so I can.
What, if any, deadlines are there on your pledges and donations to the ACLU or the Children's Hospital?
There are none. They understand.
Okay. Now, let's go to Defendant's Exhibit 1458, which is already admitted.
Girl, what if
Now,
I write to
I'm
her
going
and
to
say
just
I
direct your
am the
attention
ACLU,
to
honey?
Paragraph 27, where it says, neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Amber wishes the best for Johnny in the future. What, if any, significance did that have to you?
That was everything to me. That was the most important thing in the separation agreement between us, is that he acknowledged that I hadn't made a single false claim, that my allegations were not false. I thought that just because he signed his name to it, he'd honor it. I mean, he signed his name to it, and I thought it would mean something.
All
He
right.
acknowledges that I never did it. I mean, I never made a false claim, and I didn't do it for financial gain. And that's what I was being called at the time.
Oh,
A gold
totally.
digger and a liar.
I mean, everything's intentional, Lou. Even when you notice
We can
how
take this down,
the girl
Michelle,
object
I'm
earlier,
going
and
to
she did it in a really
now
loud
take you
tone.
to
piss Amber
post-divorce
off.
and your career. Please describe for the jury how your career evolved after the divorce, which I think
Very
was
true,
final in
Frank.
February
I'm doing it now.
2017.
I had to fight really hard to keep my career.
What?
After I got my TRO,
I love
had
how
lost
she's the one that
opportunities. I got
accuses Johnny
canceled
Depp
from
of
jobs. I got dropped
SA
from
and
campaign
abuse.
I'd shot. I
But she's fighting to keep
told
her
I was gonna be
career.
dropped from.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustained objection.
I fought to keep my job in a movie the biggest movie opportunity I had to date.
Which was what?
It was Justice League with the option to become Aquaman. It later became Aquaman, but I had to fight really hard to stay even in Justice League because that was right around the time of the divorce.
Can you tell
Which
the jury
version,
what
honey?
Justice League was and what your role was in that?
It is a superhero franchise, DC action film, and it introduced my character.
Marshall,
and
thank you so much,
it
honey,
provided,
for becoming one of the
base
girls.
for the Aquaman spinoff that followed it, but that was not a reality at the time of shooting Justice League.
All right. And then you were
Wonder how
able
much her
to
back end deal was
be
for
an
that, because
Aquaman?
it
Is
became
that
a billion, almost $1 billion franchise.
Yes, I kind of showed up to work months early and stayed really late to
What?
fight to keep the job. I managed to keep it.
You show up early and
And
stay
managed
late?
slowly
That's what you
to
do on a
kind of
movie
pull-
set. Honey, what are
to
you
gain-
talking
through just kind of
about?
hard work and goodwill, I was able to.
I
foster.
stayed
was able
up
to keep
late.
and make other jobs. And
Yeah, it's a movie set,
eventually
honey.
made a movie called Aquaman, and Aquaman was very
Oh,
successful.
she was talking about
I think
Justice
it was
League.
the most
She was
successful
barely in
DC
Justice
film,
League.
by its release.
And then in the recut,
you know,
she handled a box
getting
of
my
water, for God's sake, said,
career
I'm
back,
ready.
even
Take
though
me
it
to
was,
the
you know,
man.
it took a major hit when I got my restraining order against Johnny.
So let's talk about Aquaman for a moment. I think you said it was the highest grossing film of DC films, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. When did that
What?
come out?
December of 2018.
Okay.
Aquaman?
And what was your role in Aquaman?
I play Mira.
And was that
Was
a
it
lead
really
role?
I knew it grossed
yes,
a
it
billion,
is,
but
one of the
I
leading
didn't know it
roles.
was the
It's
time.
The female lead opposite
Wonder
Jason
Woman was the
Momoa's
time.
character of Aquaman.
Okay, so you were his
A fish.
mate?
Mate.
You could say that, yes. I was his love interest, the female. I was the female lead of the movie.
Okay. So in December of 2018, as Aquaman's coming out, why did you agree to participate in the op-ed?
Well, because I believed in some of the causes that the op-ed was seeking to advance. There was a lot of attention and energy around gender-based issues, gender-based violence issues in general. I had just recently become an ambassador for the ACLU. I was proud
wanted
of that
that paycheck,
ambassadorship, and I was
honey.
looking forward to the opportunity to lend my voice to what I thought was a great cause, which is just a conversation around women's issues and gendered issues that I think the whole country was having at that time. You know, quite a political conversation and cultural conversation at the time, and I was happy to lend my voice if I could.
Who drafted the first draft of the op-ed?
The
Nancy
ACLU.
Reagan.
Did you initially want to include Mr. Depp by name or reference?
No.
What were you trying to accomplish?
Tommy, I made the
by
Dr. Pepper
op-ed?
soda stream flavor.
I was
last
trying to
night.
raise
It's pretty
awareness
good.
around some of the issues that I just
I got
mentioned.
some of the
There
grapefruit
was some,
drops. They're
legislative
horrible.
reform,
Don't waste your money.
Title IX being one of them, and there was just a greater cultural conversation being had around gender issues, and I was happy to weigh in. I
I love how they're changing the wording. It shows that they work together
you know,
over the
unique
break. Because before she was
phenomenon that
saying,
women,
you know,
and
women
typically
abuse,
women
abuse against women.
experience in our
And
culture
people
when
were
they
giving
come
her
forward against
were
somebody
giving her
more powerful,
backlash. Well, it was the
when
drop
they speak
flavors,
up
Tommy, the ones that
about
come, honey, in the little
gender-based
bottle,
violence.
just like the
And
essence. Don't get those. But I want
I
to try
thought
the
I could lend my
grapefruit
voice
soda
to that
one.
conversation.
It looks good.
I thought I had something to say about that.
Were you trying to boost your sales for Aquaman since it was
Totally.
coming out in that same
It's in the
timeframe?
email.
It doesn't work like that. I don't think any op-ed.
Do y'all
mean,
think
a major
Scarlett
motion
Johansson
picture, a
will
major
play her
franchise
in the
like that is
Lifetime
not aided by
miniseries?
publication of an op-ed in the Washington Post. I'll put it that way. But the other way around can be said. You know, I was wanting to lend my name at that specific time to potentially advance the causes within the op-ed.
Because of your success as Mira with Aquaman?
Yeah, just the publicity of the movie and the success of the movie would hopefully, in best case scenario, only add and lend itself would lend attention to the issues that the op-ed aimed to address.
What did you do once the ACLU had your agreement to be the spokesperson?
Well, the thing about it is
for
we'll get the
op-ed?
Apple edition, Greg. We'll get
I
the Hulu
sought the
series,
advice of my attorney.
HBO.
And why
The
did you do
HBO
that?
series will be played by the one and only Meryl
Because
Streep.
I didn't want to get into any sort of legal issue. I didn't want to have any sort of legal problems for
Hello,
talking
Wayne,
about
honey.
what happens to women or people when they come forward.
Oh,
and
but yeah,
speak
back to
about
the gender thing. There was like
these
all these
sorts of
people,
issues,
I guess,
especially when
that
they come
are
forward
like
against
trans and
someone more powerful than
non-binary
them.
that were mad at her
And
for the
that
lady
backlash, the
saying
retaliation that people face
female
when they
abuse.
come
I
forward
think. I think that's
is
why
exactly
she's changed
what I was
it.
writing about, and I didn't want Johnny to retaliate against me.
I'm very jealous.
Quite
Wayne.
literally prove my point.
And so who was the counsel that you hired to reviewed the op-ed?
Michelle
His
Pfeiffer.
name was Eric George,
Where is he located?
Los Angeles, California.
How did you know Eric George?
Eric George is the attorney who represented me in a different litigation against the producers of London Fields, the movie I mentioned earlier about having a body double and sex scene that I didn't approve of.
What was your understanding of Eric George's experience and skills
Oh my
to
God,
be able
Mr.
to
Leo.
review that op-ed for you in the context of your concerns?
Objection, speculation.
Well, I'm having a
asking
hot
to
flash.
understand.
Girls,
Sustain
I'll be
the
right back.
objection.
Gonna turn my fan on.
Next question.
Did you have knowledge of Eric George's abilities at that time?
I did. I thought he had an excellent reputation and would give me great advice.
And what, if any, experience? What was your experience with him in representing you earlier?
I thought he was a fantastic attorney, very smart, and I trusted him.
Without going into the content of it, what, if any, of Eric George's advice did you follow in the context of the op-ed?
I took all of his advice. I made all the edits he suggested. I took all of his advice.
And what, if any, of Eric George's advice did you ignore?
None. I mean, he's my lawyer. I listened to him.
Okay. I'm going to ask you if we can pull up, Michelle, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. Now, this is the online version of the op-ed, and it has this title, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. What, if any, role did you play in this title?
None.
What, if any, role to your knowledge did the ACLU play in this title?
None to my knowledge.
She just played the fish.
Are these exact words anywhere in the article?
No. No, they're not.
When did you first become aware of this title being included in the online version of the op-ed?
I think in this litigation is the first time I realized that.
Okay. I'm going to now ask, Michelle, can you bring up Plaintiff's Exhibit 2? This has also already been admitted into evidence, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is the paper version, if you will,
Racism
of
is
the
a
Washington Post.
Russian spy
with your
string.
editorial. And if you go to the second page, this one has a title, A Transformative Moment for Women. What, if any, role did you play in that title?
Your Honor, I
I
was
didn't.
just
Okay.
a flounder.
None.
Marshall
No.
Tay.
Do you recall seeing this version, the newspaper version, at the time?
Yes, this is the version I saw. I'm very proud of it. I had it framed.
You had the newspaper version, not the online?
I did. I had the newspaper framed.
Okay. And now I'm going to ask you.
But she didn't
to
write
turn
any of
to-
it.
And Michelle, can
Wow.
we pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit number 3? And do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit number 3 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 3 in evidence. You
If we
publish.
could publish it to the jury. Thank you. Now, is it fair to say this is a tweet?
Your Honor,
Yes.
foreign
it is.
evidence.
And can you explain to the jury what a tweet is for those who are not as
What the hell is
social
with her?
media oriented?
Her photo right there.
Tweet is a posting on a social media network called Twitter.
Okay. Now, did you send this tweet?
I think so. I must have.
Okay. And what, if any, control did you have over whether the title given to the op-ed online was included in the tweet?
You don't have
Get that
you don't have
baby
control when
out
you
of the
retweet something.
audience.
I mean, it's my experience that you don't control a title when you're retweeting something. You don't get a chance to re-editorialize someone else's title.
Okay. And at the time you sent this tweet, do you remember even noticing that title?
I do not. I don't think I even realized it.
So you don't read what you retweet?
The words.
You are a user
that
of Twitter.
No, I have not.
Now, I'm going to ask you, let's go back to number 2, plaintiffs 2. And I'm going to ask you, what, if anything, in this op-ed was incorrect?
Nothing. Every word of it is true.
And I'm going to direct your attention specifically, and if we can blow this up just a touch, and move up just a touch, Michelle, if you can, so we get to then 2 years ago. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Was this true or false?
It's true.
What, if anything, did you do about speaking up about domestic abuse 2 years earlier?
Well, I went and got a restraining order against my then husband and walked out to a sea of media and endured to that point 2 years of vitriol from the media and from Johnny Depp supporters in retaliation for having done so.
And I guess you're really answering my next question, which is, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Is that what you were referring to for that next?
Yes, because at the time, I thought it couldn't be worse. I obviously now, from where I sit today, no, it gets a lot worse.
And then, Michelle, if we can move this up a little bit further. Well, actually, that's perfect, Michelle. Then I don't have to use my purple again. Then you said, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. Is this true or false?
True.
Okay, and explain to me what you meant by that and how that was true for you.
I got a restraining order. I had to prove to a judge that I needed one. I had a bruise on my face. I got a restraining order. I showed pictures. I had proof, and yet everyone, the media, the studios that both Johnny and I worked for, they were ready to support him. They made statements in support of him. They were ready to fire me.
Objection,
they
Your
attempted
Honor.
to fire me.
Hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
What, if anything, did you witness with respect to institutions?
Meaning the people that we work for, the institutions we work for, the studios we work for, decision makers in my industry, filmmakers and powerful people and decision makers within my industry whom I had not ever even met, who didn't know anything about what happened behind closed doors in the marriage of Johnny and I, were making comments about me, statements about me.
She tells everybody she just drank sparkling water, but it's really down and
I
died.
was harassed. I'm harassed on a daily basis, death threats.
Oh, I believe that.
And just
people are crazy on the internet. Believe
the
that.
fact that wasn't.
And Johnny Depp's fans
there was no
are
parody.
cuckoo as hell. I definitely believe that. That one bitch. Oh yeah.
And these decision makers and such were so ready to support him and eager to.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Right. So what, if any, ill will or bad intentions did you have or intend against Mr. Depp by assisting in writing, giving your name to this op-ed, and in publishing it?
None. It's not about Johnny. The only one who thought it was about Johnny is Johnny. It's about me. It's about what happened to me after Johnny. It's about what happened to me after I escaped my marriage. It was about me and my life and what I endured once I moved on and got a TRO and moved on with my life. It was about what happened to me after.
Girl, she is hanging on to that quick action TRO.
Is Johnny.
I'm going to, we can take that down, Michelle. I'm going to turn to something about electronics and transparency. You've testified about. And
Yeah,
you've
she
seen
worked on
photographs
Theranos
and
Divine.
audio recordings and text messages, emails, etc. What, if anything, have you done to cooperate in the authentication of all of this?
Authenticity.
Objection, Your Honor.
I think that's what you was about to
May I
say.
approach?
Sure.
Authenticity. She's definitely leading the witness. She should not be leading the witness. It should just be her telling her story. She should, with certain questions asked. She's totally leading the witness. Or she's sucking down that smart water, honey. Probably lavender soda. It does sound good, a lavender soda.
All right, I'm going to turn to your counterclaim. You have made a counterclaim against Mr. Depp in this case, correct?
That's correct.
And
Correct.
it's based
Correct.
on 3 statements
Correct.
that Mr. Adam
Correct.
Waldman, Mr. Depp's attorney, made,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to ask.
Oh yeah,
if you
Earl
can pull
Grey.
up
That's my go-to
Defendant's
tea.
Exhibit
I need to try that on
245.
lavender.
But Your Honor, I'm going to ask. Do we have?
It's already in evidence.
Your Honor, if I may approach.
Tommy.
Okay,
just real quick,
Amber's about to
I think
serve
we can
some
move
miso
this along
soup
faster
and
if
some
we do
orange
this
slices.
Ahead of time.
Come and knock on our door. Knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Girl, can you imagine if things got out of line in that courtroom? And let's just say Johnny Depp did go crazy. Amy Schumer just picks him up with one hand, honey, and throws her around, honey. Just picks up Johnny and throws him, honey. I'm not a big chamomile girl. Judy's over there typing fast, honey. Judy's got 3 monitors, honey. I will say, Mitch McConnell looks better today. But the dress that the younger girl's wearing, girl, no ma'am. Get her a broomstick, honey. She's too thin for that. That's something you wear if you're a bigger girl. It'd be funny if she cross-exams her today, all of a sudden she swaps into a bathing suit. Could you imagine? She just starts twerking. Yeah, I don't think that don't sound real, Tommy, honey. If you pour Vermilion on your hair, the Pokemon, it's apparently supposed to lighten it. Yeah. If Amy Schumer would just get a Wait a minute, what is Johnny Depp watching? It looks like a woman. What is that? What kind of video are they watching over there? Do y'all see that? That video.
Okay, we're going to start by bringing up defendant's 1245.
All right, moving that into evidence, no objection, 1245 in evidence.
Thank you,
No
Your Honor.
objection.
And this is an article
This
that was in
is
the
the
Daily
story of a
Mail
girl who cried a river around the whole world.
on 8 April 2020. You see that? And then, Michelle, if you can move that to the next page, and perfect. It says, Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and a shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is this a true or a false statement?
False.
And why is it false?
Well, you don't have to use to use what I've lived through and what I've survived, calling it fake, saying that I'm harming Johnny with this, I'm harming the public with this. This is what I've lived through, and to say that it's a hoax, that these aren't even real things. I mean, after everything I've lived through and survived, and also I hadn't even spoken about the sexual abuse within my marriage. I hadn't.
Hold on,
I hadn't been
second,
protective
I
of
gotta
that.
run to the restroom, but
I
I'm
didn't want
here.
to talk about that ever.
Well, not really, but you know what I'm saying.
Adam Waldman was the one who put that out in the world. As remarkable as that is, I had protected that. I had to go to another country to give testimony, and thankfully they allowed me to do so with confidentiality and some protection. And then Johnny, through his lawyer, not only uses that against me, but says it's a hoax.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask if we can bring up, and it's going to be 1246A. And I think I'm moving this
All
into
right.
evidence as well.
There's no objection, so 1246A is in evidence. You can publish.
And this is an article that was published on the 28th of April, 2020. And Michelle, if we can, thank you. And this one says, Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, said, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the trick, he told dailymail.com. And let's keep going. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their stories straight under the direction of a lawyer and a publicist, and then placed a second call to 911. Do you see that?
Yes.
Is that true or false?
Couldn't be more false.
And why is that?
Every part of it is false. I didn't call 911. I didn't call the police. I refused to cooperate with them to protect Johnny. I protected Johnny. I didn't call them once and I didn't call them twice. I didn't rough up the place. I cleaned up the place. I didn't even know the second cops were coming. If I wanted to get something from him, if I wanted to hoax Johnny, why wouldn't I cooperate with the police? Wouldn't I say something to the police? Wouldn't I do more damage to the house and than just knock over the things that you saw pictures of? It makes no sense. And to do it online when there's no fact checking, there's no authorities, there's no one able to, I can't respond. I can't fight this and use these sorts of media leaks and these comments to re-echo over and over and over again online with a network of people that are intent on helping Johnny through a sophisticated PR machine. to
Objection,
echo
Your
this
Honor.
abuse at me
Hearsay,
over and over.
speculation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
All right, and so what in fact did you do that night?
I cleaned up. I protected Johnny. I refused to cooperate with the police, like so many other people do. I tried really hard to keep it private even after that, even when I was committed to filing for a divorce. I tried to protect Johnny. I tried to protect the history of what we had. I tried to protect him. And did the opposite. And I didn't even have a lawyer. I didn't call my publicist. I called my contract attorney to get me another lawyer who could give me advice on how to protect Johnny. Every bit of this was to protect Johnny and to protect the secret that I had fought really hard to keep for nearly 5 years, which was that behind closed doors, things were not what it looked like.
Okay. Michelle, can you take this one down and go to defendants 1247, please? And Your Honor, I'll move the admission.
All right. I know there's no objection. 1247 in evidence.
And Amber, this is another daily, a Mail Online, and this is published on 24 June, updated on 25 June 2020. And then if we can go further, and this one says, Depp's attorney, Adam Waldman, said, "We have reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp." Is this true or false?
False.
And why is it false?
Because unfortunately, all of this is real. And what I mentioned earlier about how preposterous it would have to be for this to be this elaborate hoax, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fathom one day that that would actually be legitimately the position that he, through a lawyer, would take, albeit online, where he could get away with it for some
Objection
time.
calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection.
And why is this so absurd?
Because Johnny and I lived this. We lived through this. I lived through this, and I narrowly survived it. But I survived it. And, I have mountains of evidence, mountains of proof, and yet it won't be good enough for people who are seeking to make money off of Johnny's success.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
No, sustain the
That's
objection.
fine. Okay. So I'm going to take you now to the damages that you've suffered as a result of these statements by Mr. Waldman on Mr. Depp's behalf. Please tell the jury how you were doing reputationally.
Objection, that's a legal conclusion, Your Honor.
I'm
We
sorry.
move to strike counsel's testimony.
Come forward. From the record, we'll disregard that question. All right, your next question.
What was your understanding of on whose behalf Mr. Waldman was making those three statements?
Objection, lack of foundation, calls for speculation.
If you want to approach again, that's not what we just said here. I just want.
So we'll move forward to my other question here. How were you, please tell the jury, how were you doing reputationally before these three statements were made, beginning April 2020? April 8 was the first of them.
Objection, Your Honor. I'm going to object on lack of foundation.
She can talk about her reputation.
Overruled, I'll allow.
It took hard work. It took a lot of hard work on my part, but I was able to work, get my life back on track. I was taking care of myself emotionally. My career, I was working really hard. I was able to star in a major success. I worked on a TV series that I had been attached to for a very long time. I became an ambassador for several nonprofits that I deeply care about. I was doing a lot of really, it felt really good to be doing the social work and the charity work that I was doing. And I was also filming and working and planning on, I was awaiting a schedule from Warner Brothers for Aquaman 2, the sequel. And I had wrapped on that TV series I mentioned, and I was waiting to start doing publicity for it to promote it. And I had a campaign, a global campaign, as a spokesperson for a major beauty brand. So things were, the trajectory was positive.
So how did things change after these statements were made?
I remember around the time, unfortunately, I lost my mother around on the 1st of April. And I remember it was when I was grieving her that I got a call that I should be expecting a script for my role in Aquaman 2.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
It's not offered to prove the truth of the matter.
Overruled.
Go ahead.
So I was waiting a schedule and a script for that. Feeling concerned that, I wouldn't have enough time to grieve before having to get back into work. I had a press schedule to promote the TV series I was doing, and I was shooting things for this beauty brand. And then I remember at that time the beauty brand had to suspend posting what I just shot for them because they were getting bombarded.
Objection, Your Honor, this is hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay, all right.
They said no. They suspended what I had shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
That she can testify to that, Your Honor. She has to be able to testify.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Were you actively involved in campaigns for L'Oreal before these articles?
I was.
Were you actively involved in campaigns with L'Oreal after these articles?
No.
Were you with the stand? You were talking about the TV series. That was the stand, correct?
Yes, the TV series that I had already completed.
All right. And were you actively involved in publicity for the stand prior to these articles?
Yes, I was.
Were you actively involved in the publicity after these articles?
No, shoots were canceled. Things were canceled.
With respect to Aquaman 1, Aquaman 2, you'd already starred in Aquaman 1, right? Just so and they called it Aquaman at that time, but now there's an Aquaman 2, just right for...
That's correct.
Okay. So were you actively scheduling timing for filming and scripts for Aquaman 2 before these articles?
Yes, I was.
Were you actively scheduling after these articles?
No, the communications stopped at that point.
All right. I'm going to... Michelle, can you bring up Defendant's Exhibit 1258? I'm going to show you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1258. It's dated September 21, 2015. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
It is the Justice League Aquaman contract.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 1258.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor, may we approach?
Oh, sure. Yes, ma'am.
So, Amber, can you explain to me how the contract structure was for Justice League and options? Just explain to the jury, please.
It's structured like a three-picture option. I signed on to do Justice League, where my character was introduced. The fee is, small relative to what it will become if and when you do the other options or movies in that under that umbrella. So it was the contract for Justice League, which could then become Justice League 2, or it could be Aquaman, or it could be some other movie within the DC universe. And the second picture ended up being Aquaman. And then the third picture, Aquaman 2. Each time the fee goes up, but...
Objection, Your Honor. This calls for speculation, lack of foundation.
Overruled out loud.
As far as the contract is concerned, that's what the contract says.
All right. And if we go to page 6, so what was your fee going to be for Aquaman? And what was it for Aquaman?
$1 million.
Okay, then was there also box office bonuses, opportunities?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, there are box office bonuses. If it makes a certain amount in the box office, you get a bonus.
Okay. And it says picture number 2. At the time you entered into the contract with on Justice League, did they know what the picture would be?
No, as I mentioned before, when you do the contract...
Objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain that objection.
Okay. So ultimately, what was picture number 2?
Aquaman.
All right. And then what was it for picture number 3?
Aquaman 2.
Okay. And what was the fee under the option agreement at that time?
$2 million.
Okay. Now, did you have contracts with L'Oreal?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And can you just describe for the jury what was involved with L'Oreal? You talked about being involved in campaigns and then not. Just explain that to them if you can.
As a spokesperson, I'm just involved with the brand as a representative, and a certain amount of commitment you have to do throughout the year on social media and on red carpets promoting various products or causes they're advancing. Generally, it's just like a brand ambassadorship.
Okay. And did you, let's pull up 1262. And this is dated as of April 25, 2018, correct?
That's correct.
Was that your first contract with L'Oreal?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And was that for a term, a specific term?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Was it for 2 years?
Yes, it says 2-year contract, and that sounds right.
All right. And then I'm going to ask you to turn to 1264. And that's April 20, 2020. And what, if anything, did L'Oreal do with regard to extending your contract then?
They extended it. They chose to extend it with the option to kind of...
All right. And did they extend it just an additional 3 months? If you look at paragraph 1.
Let's see. Yes, they did.
Okay. And what, if any, work did you do for L'Oreal after these 3 statements were made?
I have only been able to participate in, I believe, 1 live event that they also couldn't promote or use the material from because of...
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation and
I'll
hearsay.
sustain the objection.
Okay. Now let's go to 1265. And this is, as of November 15, 2021, this is another extension with L'Oreal, correct?
Yes, it is.
And if you look at the second option term under paragraph 1, it's an extension of 20 months, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And what, if any, work have you been able to do for L'Oreal since this contract?
As I stated, I believe I've only done one in-person event with them, and they couldn't use the material.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the stand for a minute. Let's pull up 1263. And this is dated July 3, 2019. And I believe you indicated that you had already filmed it by the time these statements were made in April and June of 2020. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And what, if any, marketing opportunities were you participating in prior to those articles?
We had appearances, talk show, press, the normal kind of group cast press junket, promotional material, photo shoot, and I had various publicity engagements lined up, like a magazine cover, that sort of thing, to promote the film. To promote the series.
And what, if anything, were you able to do with marketing opportunities after the 3 articles were published?
None.
What, if any, covers were you on after that for the stand?
They pulled the offer for that, so none.
Okay. And while we're on this agreement, if you look at the second page, how much were you paid for the stand? It's at 6C. $200,000.
$200,000 an episode.
Okay. Now let's pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1266. Have you been able to get any work since that time?
I have done one small independent film.
Okay, and tell the jury what that is.
I shot a film in Guatemala. It's a small independent, meaning it doesn't have distribution or, it doesn't have distribution or anything. It's a lower budget film that I had been attached to for many years, called Into the Fire.
Okay. And 1266 has, as of January 13, 2022. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. When did you actually film for this in Guatemala?
March. I believe it was March of this year.
Okay. And do you recall what your compensation was for that?
I don't off the top of my head. I'm
If
sorry.
you can look at ALH 17628, it's paragraph 6A.
Oh, 65,000.
Okay. And have you participated in Aquaman 2?
I have.
And tell us about that.
I had to fight I fought really hard to stay in the movie. They didn't want to include me in the film.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Were you ultimately able to get to film in Aquaman 2?
A very pared down version of that role, yes.
Okay. What, if anything, changed in the script?
They took away a lot of...
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I think she can
Lack of foundation.
Overruled as the script.
Go ahead.
I was given a script and then given new versions of the script that had taken away scenes that had action in it, that depicted my character and another character, without giving any spoilers away. They're two characters fighting with one another, and they basically took a bunch out of my role. They just removed a bunch out.
And what, if any, leverage did you have to negotiate a higher salary beyond the $2 million?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, effort did you make to negotiate a higher salary for your participation?
I couldn't renegotiate my contract.
And why not?
Objection, this calls for hearsay and speculation.
Do you know why?
Still the same objections, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
All right. Amber, I'm going to ask you to describe to this jury the emotional impact on you of these three statements that we have talked about, these three counterclaim statements. Please describe how this has impacted you.
These statements are used over and over and over and over again online to reverberate, re-echo,
Reverberate.
re-energize.
Music.
Objection, Your Honor, this is not responsive, lack of foundation.
Well, it's abortive.
Hearsay.
It's abortive, honey.
Well, her emotional,
Honor,
the
this
question
is
was
abortive.
the emotional impact of these statements.
Okay.
This is abortive. And you both
Impact it has
know
on
it.
me is every time I look at it, which is every day. I am set back. I have to relive it. I have to
Girl.
have the worst, most painful things I've ever gone through, painful memories I've ever had, the things I've narrowly survived at times,
Girl, she barely made it out
embarrassing,
alive.
intimate details that I never wanted to be known.
You barely
Never
made
wanted
it,
to be public
Caroline.
ever, and to have them used every single day to call me a liar. I have to relive this every single day that
But
I
you
have
are
to
a
address
liar,
those claims.
honey.
Over and over again, the most intimate, embarrassing, deeply humiliating, and personal things.
You're the one that
I've
lied and
survived
said he penetrated you with a
are
Maker's Mark
used against
bottle,
me
honey.
every day, over and over again. It's torture. It's
It's
I'm in
like
so much
waking
pain
up every day in a
emotionally.
bed full of shit.
I just wanted him to leave me alone. I wanted to move on with my life.
Move on.
And he won't let me. By
With
making
my
statements like this, he
life.
won't let me.
Yeah.
I have to be here today. I have to be reliving it every single time. He, with these statements, with these leaks, these comments, once again, makes me have to speak to the most horrifying things I have lived through.
Girl, I still haven't watched that movie, Maddie. Liar, liar,
It's
pants
torture.
on fire.
It's torturous. I don't have to do that.
Marshall.
I want to move on with my life.
Oh my God, the fake
I have
tears.
a baby. I want to move on.
I knew she was gonna
I
bring
wanna
up the
move on. I
baby.
want Johnny to move on too.
You got the baby, so you
Mom,
get
leave me
the same
alone.
way that other bitch got the baby. Theranos, she got a baby, thinking it would help her with
Ladies and
her
gentlemen, it's probably a
jury.
good time to go ahead and take our afternoon recess based on that. So go ahead and do not discuss the case and don't.
Girl, the
do any
judge
outside
cut
research. Okay,
her
we'll see you in
fake
15
tears
minutes, okay?
off so
Thank you.
quick. Girl, can you?
Please,
She's so
court is still in
pissed at the
session.
judge.
We need it to be quiet in the gallery. Thank you.
She's so pissed at the judge for not letting her go on with her spiel. The judge is like, girl, this bullshit's got to stop. That's Susan Collins back there.
All right. Why don't we just make it 3:25 then? We'll come back at 3:25? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to move on with my life. And I need Johnny to move on with my life. Girl. And then the judge just cuts her off. Look at her now. Girl. Lord help her. Where the... All right, girls. 3:25. Girl, that one lady waving at him. She's like so excited. Girl, you're meeting Johnny Depp while he's at court, honey. I mean, it's so tacky. Like, I understand you like celebrities. And you know what? I mean, I like a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, you can't help it sometimes. But girl, the day you decide to like go try to meet a celebrity is at a court case about sexual assault. Like, girl, read the room, bitch. Read the room. All right, girls. Guess I'll go clean the cat litter box. Make me another coffee. 3:25. So 20. No. 18 minutes. In 18 minutes, I'll return, right? I think so. Girl. That boob always terrifies me. And it looks like there's a penis in her arm, honey. I don't know. That ain't no loaf of bread, honey. That's a penis. All right, girls. I shall return. I shall return. Or she was gonna spoil Aquaman too. I was gonna fall out. All right, we're going into cross-exam, girls. What is six Simbertranis? What does that even mean? Yep, cross-exam. They've already finished their case. Rayhan. Oh, come on, Henny. Girl, they running late, aren't they? Oh, that makes sense. Girl, I wish YouTube would fix their chat so I could stop using this other one. Let's make sure I'm not paused, because I have done it before. No. Okay.
All right. We want to approach? Sure. Okay.
Come on, baby. Da, 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 da. Okay, Amber Heard is about to be cross-examined, but not with a maker's mark. Girl, she's looking at the camera creepy. The blonde-haired lady's eyes. There's that lady that was waving at Johnny. Oh, that one girl looks psychotic. Wait a minute, next to the blonde and the brunette right there, catacorner. Girl, they look psychotic, honey. Girl, the red hair. Girl, she's basically in blackface. Now, wait a minute, honey. What is going on? Girl, this one girl's got a sheer mask on. Like a little cheap cloth mask. At what point, girl? Ain't nobody trying to protect you. Rip that mask off. Rip that mask off. I mean, at this point, you're sitting that close to everybody and all you got is a cloth mask. Girl, you might as well not wear nothing, honey. You better go in there with an N95, honey. Totally, Lana Del Rey mask. Okay, the dude to the right looks iconic too. A lot of these people don't look well, honey. That one girl, Michelle Pfeiffer knockoff right here with the leather jacket. She's so a jet head. Okay, that girl looks unwell. The one to the left of the gentleman with the shirt in the front, the pink shirt. Look at her eyeing Johnny. Girl, not well. She thinks she has a psychic connection with Johnny. I mean, I hate to sound mean, but you know. Girl, how many mints does he need? Oh, the monitor it has some type of reflective coating on it, and it's just reflecting Johnny back to himself. I wonder what he's drawing. Is that a piece of cheese? Girl, that looks like a piece of Munster cheese to the left of Johnny, or maybe Gouda, a smoked Gouda rind. Look, it's got the orange rind around it. Girl, is that smoked Gouda? Or Munster? Is it Munster, girls? What kind of cheese do y'all think that is to the left? Girls, if you're just joining, hit that like button, honey. It lets the algorithm know that I am live, even though I did not go live when I was supposed to go live today. I overslept because I'm sorry I couldn't get up at no 4 a.m. this morning. Yeah, that's a slice of Munsters, honey. Winchester by Hausen syndrome. Okay, let's find a hottie in the group. Do we see any? Oh my God, there's the dude. See the dude with the tie on? He's a lawyer on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. The guy at the far left. The far left. He is lawyer and wood or something. He does woodworking. He's a lawyer that does woodworking. YouTuber. Yeah, black tea's the hottest. Talk about the black with the black shirt with the bald head with the hair on the sides. Is this gentleman right here? How about this gentleman? Does anybody know if there's a way to change like your cursor on Windows 10? Like, can I make it like a red cursor by any point? I mean, anybody know? You can change them on Mac. I know that. I don't know if there's a way to do it on Windows. Hold on, let me look on here real fast and see. Cursor. I only watched him because he was hot, honey. He had a video where he talked about the bed being broken and how that's not what it was. What would it be called? Cursor? Mouse properties. Oh, here we go. Yep. Here we go. Change your color. Let's do pink. This is insane. But I like it. All right, hold on. Yeah, it's in the mouse settings. Thank you, Maddie. You can do colors. You can do sizes. So, like, this is Amber Heard. If anybody's just joining us, this is Amber Heard. Okay, that's Amber. This is our American flag. God bless America. This is the Bible. The Bible always has to sit on this thing with a piece of glass. A glass thing has to be on top because God's ray shines in that and activates the Bible. And then they have 30 minutes of buff time in order to make sure everybody is actually praying on it. These are tissues for Amber Heard's cries. Okay.
The devil is dancing tonight. The devil is dancing tonight.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Girl, look at Judy. She's bad eyeing her. Look at her. Look at her. She's like looking at her. Look at her. Girl, she is side eyeing her. Well, let's do a line of sight. Yep. Girl, they're wasting all the time today for the cross exam. They do not. Her lawyers are so terrified of this cross. Girl, what if like they fell in love and started dating? Judy just removes a little bit of her blouse. Look, she just smiled at her because she looked at her. She removes a little bit more of her blouse every few seconds. Chairman Chow over here starts removing a button. She starts getting down. Just another button. It must have been love, but it's over now. Must have been good, 'cause I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the wind blows. It must have been love, but it's over now. Must have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. Lay a whisper on my pillow. Leave the winter on the ground. I wake up lonely. There's an air of silence. It must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. Till time had to run out. Make believe it, we're together, that I'm sheltered by your heart. Oh my God, come on, Henny. It must have been love, but it's over now. Must have been good, 'cause I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. Leave some duty on my pillow. Let it come out in a smile. I wonder what she's thinking about. Girl, are they just going to stand there for a whole hour? They're just trying to run out the clock, honey. Girl, come on. All right. Oh, is that one on her? Oh my God. That's the girl. That's the actress from All That She Wants. This is the actress from All That She Wants, where she's a geek and then they turn her into like a beauty. And then he was going to dump her, then he doesn't dump her. Of course, she's taking a nap. Look at her. Okay, there is Steven Spielberg. There's the crazy lady again. Definitely normal. She's not crazy. She's not a moonlighting psychic. Again, with her, literally a linen mask made out of a bedsheet. Girl. I mean, I believe it. Masks work when you wear a proper mask. And cloth masks work if everybody wears them, obviously. That's why if you go to a stadium, you want everybody to wear them. But girl, a linen mask with a 200 thread count, girl, you are not going to be protected from anything, honey. Girl, she's faded over here. What's her name from Showgirls? A lot of these people look drugged out, honey. All that she wants is another baby. What's he giving her? He just gave her a condom? How did he give her? She ate it, whatever it was. Girl, look at this man. Does he look like the type of man you want to eat candy from? No, ma'am. Girl, this lawyer is faded, honey. She's like, what is she excited? But she fart? She must have farted. Girl, they're going to run out the clock. Oh, totally. Totally, Maddie. Oh my, I would not be shocked. It is Portland, Oregon. Not just a joke. It ain't that bad. I'm just a joke. It's just a joke. I could have kept going with the joke. No, I had a little bit in there. Oh my God, come on. I hope the judge writes a book, though. Even though, I mean, I don't think it'd be right for her to capitalize off of a court case. It'd be kind of unethical. But I really like the judge. She's very fair. Girl, what is Johnny drawing, honey? Come on, honey. I think we're about to go. I think we're about to start. Finally. Get this party started. Girl, what if she starts talking like in an Asian accent and saying she doesn't understand? Girl. Girl, Helen Bottom Carter back here. What was that witch's name that Helen played? Beatrix. Bellica Lestrange, yeah. Beatrix Lestrange. All right.
All right. Thank you. All right. Be seated. Cross-examination.
Bella Thorne. Yes, girl. Yes, honey.
Good afternoon, Ms. Heard.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Trial.
Not that I've noticed, no.
You've looked at him, though, many times, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly why Mr. Depp won't look back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
What do you mean?
One of the last times you ever saw Mr. Depp was when you met him in San Francisco
said it during
in
the
July
court
of 2016, right?
That was the second to last time I saw him, yes.
And this was after you had publicly accused him of domestic violence.
I got my restraining order before that, yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is after you had obtained the domestic violence
She's
restraining
tough,
order
but
against
she's not being super
That's correct.
tough. She doesn't want to go
Let's
to
please
you.
play Plaintiff's Exhibit
Girl,
1,
number
2,
11
9.
back here is going crazy. Look at Millie Bobby Brown,
For the
number
record,
11.
it's at 11:01 through 12:09. I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 1229?
Yes.
All right, 1229, you want to enter it in its entirety?
Yes, please.
Okay, 1229 entered in its entirety. Go ahead and play your section.
No. Oh, no, a hug will save it all. All this, everything we just been
I
through.
just wanted to touch you.
Really? After all this shit you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all
a
this
hug.
shit you fucking accused me of? You
Yes,
want to
please,
touch me?
please stop me.
Fucking,
Please stop.
you're fucking nuts.
Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to take it back.
I felt bad for her, though. Even though she lied and did all this crap, she obviously has mental problems, and it is
And
sad.
I will always be nothing to you.
Calm.
What, you're not my friend?
Kind of reminds me of Joan Crawford. She just couldn't help it.
No, you're in a fucking heart. No, we'll never see each other again. We won't even don't take my fucking glasses off. You don't like fucking looking at not my fucking eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was in the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes, and got my TRO.
Yet
And he
you
tells you
met
he will
him.
not see my eyes again, doesn't he?
Yes, he does in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you, right, Miss Heard?
He can't.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you on direct is, why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 357A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. And for the record, it's 2122 through 2140.
Right, and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, she met him anyway.
Yes, I'm a victim too of domestic violence. And
Yeah.
They
I
covered it with
know
some of the
verified.
previous
And see how many people believe or side with me.
interviews.
That's your voice on that recording, right?
Yes, it is.
And you were speaking with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
And you said to Mr. Depp, quote, you can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and the judge think. Tell the world, Johnny.
Girl.
Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny
Stranger
Depp,
Things
a
over
man,
here is looking
a victim,
crazy.
too, of domestic
Girl,
violence.
she's
End
trying to
quote.
use
That's
her
what you said, right?
telekinesis, honey.
I was saying it to the man who beat me up, yes. I thought it was preposterous.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Ms. Heard?
I could never hurt Johnny.
You're here in this courtroom because Mr. Depp finally told the world that he is a victim of domestic violence.
Oh my God, totally.
I know that
great.
he is suing me and has sued other people or corporations that have said that as well.
You didn't think he would tell the world he was a victim of domestic violence, did you?
I found it hard to believe that he could or that he would do that, considering the relationship he and I had. I thought it would be crazy for him to do so, knowing what I know we lived through.
Or, as you said to him in that recording, who was going to believe that Johnny Depp, a man, is a victim of domestic violence, right?
With all due respect, I wasn't saying it because he's a man. I was saying it because he was a man who beat me up for 5 years.
Mr. Depp is your victim, isn't he?
No, ma'am.
And once he left you, you continued to abuse him.
She's going after her
publicly
now, honey.
by calling him an abuser, didn't you?
He is an abuser, and you can look either of us up online and figure out who's being abused online.
Let's look at some of that. Mr. Depp wears rings on every finger, doesn't he, Miss Heard?
That's my experience, yes.
And they're not delicate rings, are they?
No, they are not.
Every one of his fingers is adorned, your words, big, chunky rings. Isn't that right?
That's my experience of him.
And Mr. Depp is always wearing rings, right, Miss Heard?
That's my experience of him.
And you've never known him not to wear these rings.
That's my experience, is he normally wore rings, yes.
So Mr. Depp
She's
was
getting under her
wearing
skin.
these big, chunky rings on every finger. Every incident of abuse you've described to this jury, right?
I can't say for certain it was in every single incident.
But you've never known him not to wear rings, right?
In general, my experience with Johnny is that he wears rings almost all the time.
Ms. Heard, do you recall giving testimony in a deposition in this matter in January of this year?
I do.
Can you please
Totally.
play
Totally would do damage, Harold.
from your deposition, day 2, 512, page 512, lines 11 through 15?
You said he hit you and he was wearing rings, right, Ms. Heard? So he hit you with rings on every finger?
Girl, what kind of water is this? I need to know.
Rings.
Yeah.
Collagen, maybe?
Ms. Heard, you testified to an incident in March of 2013 where Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times. Do you recall that?
That's correct.
And you testified, quote, you don't know how many times he hit you in the face.
That's correct.
So Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times while he was wearing rings on this occasion, correct?
Which occasion in March are you referencing? You weren't
The
specific.
testimony that you gave on day 15 of this trial, March of 2013. You weren't specific as to the day.
There were several incidents.
The one where he hit you several times in the face.
There were
Girl,
I'm
what
sorry,
is
just so I
number?
understand.
Girl,
There were
get
several
number 11
incidents in
out of
March. Which one are
here.
you asking
This
me?
girl
At
is
the time
going
that he hit you several
cuckoo.
times in
Look
the
at her
face wearing
face.
rings.
Well,
This
he
girl
pretty much
ain't
always-
well. This girl ain't well.
What are you asking me? I'm sorry.
He was wearing rings on that occasion?
I pretty much always knew him to wear rings.
Okay, let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 170A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. You testified that this is a picture you took after that incident, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that was one where he grabbed me.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember.
Wow, that girl is going
that correct?
crazy.
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that this picture shows.
And there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either.
I did not seek medical treatment at this time.
So there's no medical records reflecting any injuries to your face after he hit you several times,
I did not need to go to the doctor at the time.
despite hitting you several times that you lost count with rings on on his fingers.
That's correct. I did not seek medical attention, other than my therapist.
You testified to another incident in March of 2013.
Girl, they're going in hard.
Where Mr. Depp hit you while he was wearing a lot of rings. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified you felt like your lip went through your teeth and it got a little blood on the wall.
Yes, I remember that.
There isn't a picture of you with injuries after that alleged incident, is there?
I don't know if I've seen one. I can't recall. There are a lot of pictures.
What?
You didn't produce any photographs after that alleged incident, did you, Ms.
I don't
Hurd?
know if I took one or if it's included. I'm not quite sure which ones.
You didn't show any pictures to this jury after describing that alleged incident that your lip went into your teeth. You don't remember that, right? You didn't show any pictures to this jury after describing that incident, right?
I don't believe I've seen that picture admitted.
What?
The picture doesn't exist.
I don't know which one you're talking about. We have pictures from March 2013, yes.
The only picture that you've produced and shown to this jury is the one that was just put up on the screen, where you said he hit you multiple times in the face.
This lady is
and you appear to
insane.
have what is a bruise on your arm, correct?
I believe this is the only picture that's in evidence right now.
That's the only picture you've shown to this jury from March 2013.
Oh my
correct?
God,
I
Ann.
believe so.
Jesus.
You testified about an incident in Russia on or about June 26, 2013. Do you remember that?
Yes, that's correct.
You testified that Mr. Depp, quote, whacked you in the face.
That's correct.
And you went to the bathroom after that, right?
I did.
And then, according to your testimony,
What is
when you
going
came out of the
on?
bathroom, Jerry Judge, Mr. Depp's security guard, who's passed away, pointed out that your nose was bleeding, right?
What
did
is
that in the hallway.
And
happening?
you said
I
you
think
hadn't
she
known
took
that your nose was
acid or
bleeding until Jerry
something.
Judge pointed it out to you.
Yes, that's correct. I was unaware until he brought it up to me.
Y'all.
I didn't see it when I was in the bathroom, but
I mean, I don't want to be mean, but girl, she's
Since
on
your testimony that
something.
you went into the bathroom and didn't look in the mirror, which I assume was in the bathroom, to notice that your nose is bleeding.
Girl,
That's
aliens.
not why I went into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom.
Unwell,
crying.
Henny.
I don't even know if I paid attention to the mirror. I certainly didn't enough to notice any blood.
And you didn't take any pictures
You
of
said
your
it
bloody
busted
nose
your
either, did you?
face. Your lip.
I did not.
But pictures were taken of you in Russia, though. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that's
Putin's
correct.
probably
We had
got
press-
photos.
Or a dinner.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1248.
I'm telling y'all, that girl's going to have outbursts in that courtroom sooner or later.
Ms. Hurd, this is a picture of you and Mr. Depp in Russia, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit.
All right, no objection. 1, 2, 3
Uh-oh.
evidence. You can
She's looking crazy again.
And this is you and Mr. Depp in Russia for the Lone Ranger premiere, correct?
It was a dinner function, I believe, in promotion of the movie. Wasn't the premiere, if I recall.
She is so pretty, though. She is
You don't
a
have any
beautiful
visible
woman.
injuries to your face, do you?
Especially there.
None that you can see.
Let's look at Plaintiff's
Hello,
Exhibit
Steve, honey.
1249. This is a picture of you, isn't it right?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit Exhibit 1249.
All right, 1, 2, 4, 9 in evidence.
Oh my God, there's
This
nothing.
is also a picture from when you were in Russia. For
You
the
can
Lone
even look
Ranger
at her lip
premiere,
and see
right?
it's not busted.
That is correct.
And you have no visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
What?
Even though Mr. Depp whacked you in the face so hard that your nose bled
He did.
while wearing chunky big rings, right?
That's correct.
Girl. This is making her look just like a liar, honey. And the attorney's doing a good job with these pauses. How she's letting it
You also
hold.
testify that Mr. Depp, again, whacked you in the face after the Met Gala in May of 2014, right?
If she looks
That
that
is
good with
correct.
abuse, girl.
You testified that you thought he hit you so hard he broke your nose.
That's correct.
You said your nose was, quote, swollen, discolored, red.
That is correct. I took a picture of that.
You testified you took a picture of your face after this.
I did.
But you didn't show that picture to this jury, did you?
I would like to.
But you didn't show it, did you?
That's not up to me.
You understand you were under an obligation to produce all photographs
Yeah,
after
they
any
wouldn't.
alleged incidents of
They
violence,
wouldn't
right, Ms.
release
Hurd?
photos
produced
from her.
everything.
No, she didn't.
You didn't produce any photographs after the Met Gala.
I produced everything.
No, you didn't. They've been holding this stuff up
You also
from her
understand that you're
iPhone.
under an obligation to produce all medical records reflecting any injuries you allegedly sustained from Mr. Depp, correct?
That's correct.
And you haven't produced any pictures
No.
or any medical records reflecting a broken nose after the Met Gala in May of
She
2014,
didn't.
have you?
I have given everything to my lawyers. Everything. I've turned over literally everything that I have.
Oh, she's
Is it your testimony,
groveling
Ms. Heard,
to the
that you sought
jury.
medical treatment after Mr. Depp allegedly broke your nose after the Met Gala?
Not after the Met Gala. I did not seek medical attention, no.
You also attended an event after the Met Gala.
I mean, she
in May
said
of
he's broken her
2014,
nose
didn't you?
multiple times.
That is correct.
And you went to the All-Star Comedy Tribute to Don Rickles.
That is correct.
That was the next night after the Met Gala.
Oh, I
That is
miss
correct.
Dawn.
And there were pictures of you taken at this event.
Yes.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1252.
And Mrs. Potato Head. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, both of them.
This is a picture of you, Ms. Heard,
Yes, it is.
at that event,
Yes, it is.
the night after the Met Gala,
Yes, it is.
the night after Mr. Depp allegedly broke your nose.
Hello, Sonny.
I'm not sure if it was broken, for the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should see what it looked like underneath the makeup.
What?
He
You
whacked
just
so
said
hard
it
in the
was
face that
broken.
You thought you had broken your nose.
Exactly.
And now she's saying she's not sure if it was broken.
Permission to admit this photograph.
All right, 1252 in evidence.
Girl, nothing's wrong with her nose. She's wearing light makeup.
This is
She's
a picture
young and
of you,
beautiful.
Mr. Depp and Don Rickles,
Oh,
right?
Dawn.
That is correct.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1253.
Hello, impeccable honey.
This is another picture from that evening, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, it is.
Permission to admit Exhibit 1253 and publish it.
All right, so moved. 1253 in evidence.
This is a picture of you and Mr.
She looks
Depp
so good, but he looks
at the
a
event
mess.
the night
He's
after
too
Mr. Depp
thin.
allegedly whacked you in the face.
His
so
cheeks
hard
are too
you thought
sunken.
he
You
had
can tell
broken
he's
your
a
nose.
user.
He did whack me in the face, and I did think it broke my nose.
And this is you the night after.
Yes, it is.
Girl. She's taking
Let's
a
please
sip
pull up
to
Plaintiff's
try
Exhibit
to get her mind off of it.
1254. This is also a picture of you at the same event, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1254.
All right, 1254 in evidence. You can publish.
Your Honor,
Just
move to
confirm that
amend
the jury can see it.
8675309.
This is a picture of you at the same event, the night after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought he broke your nose.
This is a picture of me after he did whack me in the face.
The night after, right?
Yes, it is. I believe it was the night after, yes.
I don't think there's going to be live captions, honey, since this
Your
is
nose doesn't
live.
appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Ms.
Yeah,
Heard?
there's none.
I'm wearing makeup.
Your
Yeah,
nose
there's
doesn't
no
appear
closed
to be
captions
injured
with it
in
being
any
live,
of these
honey.
pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
That's why I'm wearing makeup.
Right. And makeup covers up swelling, right?
Makeup will not cover up swelling. Ice will, though.
Ice will cover up swelling?
Ice reduces swelling. Normally, the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might imagine. And for me, it wasn't that bad. I have a picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it.
A picture you haven't produced or shown to
did.
this jury, right, Ms. Heard?
I produced everything.
But you haven't shown it to this jury.
I would very much like to. It's not my job.
What? You control everything else.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, that's fine.
There's a video that I want to show y'all tomorrow for tomorrow's live, but it is so hilarious. I hope I don't forget about it. But I was laughing so hard. Let me make sure and check my show notes for tomorrow. Make sure it's added. Girl, this second cup of coffee is getting me, honey. I'm sorry that there's not closed captions. I mean, I don't know why Google doesn't allow it because they have the AI technology to do it. she's like, I don't know where the photos are. You don't own me. Da 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 da. You don't own me. I'm not one of yours. Da, 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 da. I don't know. Remember the lyrics. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. Don't tell me nothing at all. Something. I'm free, and I want to be free. Does anybody like the Nike sport band? I thought about getting it one time. It would be nicer, but then also the scrunchy one. I feel like the scrunchy one might be a better watch band. My issue is I wash my hands so much, water always gets under there and I have to take it off and clean it. You don't own me. What's everybody's favorite bands? Watch bands, sorry. I have been playing the new Evil Dead game, George, honey. And it's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Oh my God, how long are they going to be talking, honey?
Ms. Heard, you testified that in January of 2015, there was an incident in Tokyo before
uploaded
Mr. Depp's Mordecai
a video
film
on the
Mordecai's
YouTube
premiere.
channel, George.
Is that correct?
But
That's
yeah,
correct.
they're
You told
archived
this
over on the
jury
Twitch
that
channel.
On this occasion, Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back.
That's correct, in the closet.
And you also told this jury that you wore a backless dress to the Mordecai premiere that very same night.
I did.
And you testified that you were checking for
Hello,
bruises
Kylie.
in the
Hello,
car
Fractured.
on the way to the event to make sure that there were, quote, no visible marks, right?
I was checking on my phone after the event to make sure that you couldn't see anything.
Your testimony was that you were checking in the car on the way to the event to make sure that there were no marks on your back.
Perhaps I misspoke or I misunderstood. It was on the way back from it. Was after I was concerned. Concerned that there would be marks in any photographs since we were being photographed at Johnny's press event.
And you didn't show this jury a picture of you in that backless dress, though, did you?
I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
You didn't show this jury a picture of you at the Mordecai premiere wearing a backless dress, did you?
I haven't had the opportunity to.
Okay,
I assume you have it.
Here we go.
I do. Let's
I
please pull
do.
up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1256. This is a picture of you,
Girl,
Mr. Depp,
that
or the back of
that
you.
sheer mask ain't gonna
the
protect her from
Mordecai
that
premiere in
sneeze,
Tokyo.
girl. I'm telling
Correct,
y'all,
Mr.
don't
That
go
is
in that
correct.
courtroom unless you're
Wanna
vaccinated.
Move to admit and publish this picture.
All right, 1256 in evidence.
This is you in the backless dress at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, right?
That is correct.
And you would agree that there are no bruises or visible marks on your back in this picture.
No, not that I could see.
I'll show you one other photo. If we could please have Plaintiff's Exhibit 1257. This is a front angle picture of you and Mr. Depp at that premiere, correct?
Hello, Tiana.
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1257.
All right, 1257 in evidence.
I'll show you one more picture. Plaintiff's Exhibit 1258. And again, Ms. Heard, this is you and Mr. Depp at the Mordecai premiere.
Yes, it is.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1258.
All right, 1258 in evidence. Publish.
And that's the backless dress, right, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
You also told this jury about an incident in Australia in March of 2015.
Yes, that's correct.
You testified that after this alleged incident, you had cuts on your forearms, right?
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had cuts on the bottoms of your feet as well.
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had a bruise across your jaw from when Mr. Depp, quote, clocked you in the face, end quote.
That's true.
You didn't take any pictures
That's
of these
true.
injuries while you were in
That's
Australia,
true.
did you?
I don't think I took any pictures.
You just took 2 pictures of Mr. Depp's writing on a mirror. Isn't that right?
I believe so, yes.
So you had your phone on you, right?
At some point I did have my phone.
And your iPad?
I had my iPad, I believe.
And you testified that you were also raped with a liquor bottle in Australia, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes.
You testified you bled from your vagina as a result of that sexual assault.
Yes.
There aren't any medical
Maybe she
records
tries to
reflecting
say
that
she
you sought
melted the
medical
wax.
treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
And it was the whack.
I did not seek medical treatment after
You
Australia.
had a
for the
full Maker's Mark
No,
bottle
I did
inside
not
of
want
you.
it
She
on
didn't say the tip. She said
Not
the
for the
entire
cuts?
bottle.
No.
She
Not
said
for
the
the injuries to your
entire
face.
bottle was in
I didn't
her.
need to.
You also told the jury
A
about an
Maker
incident
Mark
on
bottle,
December
a big
15,
one.
2015, right?
The half gallon.
Where? I'm sorry.
December 15th, 2015.
Yes, that's correct.
You told this jury that after this incident, you had a broken nose.
It certainly felt like it.
How many times have you had a
Sir, do you
broken?
recall giving testimony on day 16
Insane.
in this trial? You were
Yes,
under
I do.
oath, right?
Yes.
We can have a transcript for the jury, or excuse me, for the witness.
Okay. All right, we'll get it.
Oh my God, Marshall. She ain't looking well, y'all.
I will do. Thank you, Judy.
charge the witness, Your Honor.
All right, yes, ma'am.
And would you like a copy? sir?
Yes, please.
She ain't looking well, Henny. It could be Casey Anthony. Lucy in the sky with
If you
diamonds.
could please direct your attention, Ms. Hurd, to page of day 16, 4593 of the jury trial
Maybe she'll start doing her
transcript.
mouth things again, like she's mumbling something, like spells. There she goes. She's mumbling again. Is that lightning? Girl, did they print this crap on leather?
Lines 8 through 13.
The devil is dancing tonight.
4593.
Yes?
Starting on line 8. I thought I probably had a concussion and certainly thought, excuse me, strike that, let's start over. I thought I probably had a concussion and certainly that I had a broken nose. There was blood everywhere, blood all over the pillows. My head was bleeding from the ripped out hair, chunks of hair on the floor, all over the place actually. So lines 9, that I had a broken nose. Do you recall giving that testimony, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, exactly.
So you had a broken nose, right?
That's absolutely what I thought.
You had 2 black eyes after this incident,
Oh,
right?
lightning cut the string.
I did have 2 black eyes after that incident.
And you testified that you also had a busted lip from when Mr. Depp punched you.
That is correct. From December, yes, that's correct.
You testified that the lip wound kept reopening when you moved your mouth.
That's correct.
You also testified that you had bruising on your temple
That's correct.
and bruising on your chin.
Correct.
You also testified that your head was bleeding from where Mr. Depp ripped chunks of your hair out.
I remember, yes.
And that you had, quote, gross, pussy, and, quote, bruising around your temple.
In my scalp, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear the thunder and lightning?
Now, for this incident, you did take pictures.
That's correct.
And we will look at some of those in a minute. But I first want to talk to you about your appearance on the James Corden show.
Sure. Can I close this?
Sure. You appeared on the James Corden show the day after this alleged incident, right?
I did.
And that was December 16th, 2015?
Yes, that's correct.
Correct.
Let's please pull up a clip of your appearance from that evening. If we could, Plaintiff's Exhibit 35. And for the record, we will only be playing a portion of this, so we will call it Plaintiff's Exhibit 35A.
All right, any objection? 35A in evidence.
I grew up, in Texas riding horses and.
Oh, really?
Not
a big ballet community out there in Texas.
No, not so much. Shooting guns, yes, but ballet, no.
Oh, wait. I hope this doesn't get a copyright strike.
Is that we wanted to have the option to incorporate it into the movie, so I race. So I knew.
Your Honor, I'm so
I had to
sorry,
train.
but it's not published to the jury. If we may have it, please published.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies. If we can please start that over.
Start it over, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hold on, y'all. This will get me taken down.
Into the movie, so I trained
Movies.
forever.
Trained
and I have
ever.
2 left feet,
2 feet.
and the most klutzy person in the world, and I
klutz.
have no
No, what do you call it?
So I knew. I knew I had to train for it. And
Who's
what
that
they don't
guy with
tell
her?
you-
He's
I mean,
cute.
I crammed about 3 months of solid training.
Training.
I'm kind of like working my way up
Working
from
my
the floor
way
and
up.
learning the technical
Learning
aspect
the
of ballet. And
ballet.
I've got these dances down.
Learning all these last thing. There is nothing wrong with her nose. No busted lip. My God, they're playing the entire episode?
And my face, though, is like I've got that you saw in the clip, like this beautiful 1920s, you know, stage makeup on and like flower crowns and all this stuff. And then my hand and my face, and then my hands.
I don't care for the show either. Jesus.
That was you on the James Corden show on December 16th, 2015, right, Ms. Heard?
That was.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 98.
Oh, God. Please, not the movie.
These are pictures of you on the James Corden show on December 16th, 2015.
Hello,
right, Ms. Heard?
Forerunner. Hello, Eric.
They look like
Hello, Miss
freeze
B.
frames, like screen grabs. Stills. They're not like it's not like a photo shoot, it doesn't seem.
What?
But on the James Corden show, correct?
From that appearance, yes.
Move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit 98.
Any objection? All right. And Ms. Britton, you could move the microphone and turn it on for you, so Judy and I are having trouble hearing you.
Sorry about that.
All right, thank you. All right, 98 in evidence. Thank you.
No busted lip, honey.
That's a photo of you opening your mouth on the right, right?
No
That's
busted
correct.
lip.
And again, a larger view of the same photo on the bottom
That's correct.
with a split lip.
You've seen pictures of it
I mean,
without makeup.
I like his
you got
karaoke
a split
show,
lip
and
when
I
you're
liked,
moving your mouth that way.
I enjoyed
I
him
sure
in
did.
Cats
Those
and some
photographs.
movies, but I do
Absolutely.
not like his late night show. But then again, I'm not a big late night person anymore. I'm
You
sorry.
did take pictures of your
when all
alleged
the
injuries
greats
after December
retired,
15th,
it
correct?
kinda lost
You showed those
me.
to the jury?
I miss,
I
you know,
sure did,
Leno.
Let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 516, which is already in evidence.
Oh, girl, what's the other girl's name that retired? Madonna's friend.
You testified that this is a picture of you after the incident on December 15th, 2015, right?
It was.
David, thank you.
And if we could also please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 517, which is also in evidence.
That's fine.
No
Thank you,
broken
Your
nose.
This is also a picture of you after the incident on December 15th, 2015.
That's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 409, which is already in evidence.
Johnny Carlson, yeah. Johnny was good.
These pictures ended up in People magazine in June of 2016. Isn't that right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
You gave these pictures to People magazine after you publicly accused Mr. Depp of domestic abuse, didn't you?
Girl,
didn't
I love how
personally
they
know.
shaded her nose,
This is you
honey.
protecting Mr. Depp after you got the restraining order against him, isn't it?
No, this is him calling me a liar and me forcing to prove it, as I mentioned to you earlier.
So you did give these pictures to People magazine.
No, I gave these pictures actually to my lawyers and my representatives at the time.
So it's your testimony, Ms. Heard, that your lawyers and representatives gave these pictures of their client to People magazine in the middle of a contentious divorce?
I certainly did not personally give it, no.
Oh my God, she just threw her lawyers under the bus.
You also have a medical record.
What?
after the December 15th, 2015 incident, don't you?
A partial one, yes.
You went to see Dr. Kipper's office a couple days later.
About her
That's
drugs.
right. He wasn't in the office.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 47, which
Her
is already in
cocaine
evidence?
habit.
This is your medical record for December 17th, 2015, isn't it, Ms. Hurd?
That's correct.
And this record doesn't document any physical injuries on you, does it?
I don't think so, no. I don't think I spoke to Kipper. I didn't speak to Kipper that day. And
But you
I
went
didn't-
to Dr. Kipper's office and were seen, correct?
I went to Dr. Kipper's office for a concussion check.
Right, okay. And this medical record is from that visit, correct?
Partially, yes.
Scroll down, please, if we could. The signature Kipper down below. This is the entirety of the medical record, right, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, what I meant by partial is I didn't talk about what happened to me. I didn't get into my injuries. I didn't get into what happened or ask for anything other than should I get some sort of scan done.
But this record doesn't document any physical injuries on you, does it?
I'd have to read it in full, but I don't know.
Well, let's do that.
let's
Please
do
go.
that.
Well, under skin on the second page, it reads intact, normal color, moisture, hair distribution, texture, turgor, no signs of, oh, this is going to be hard, cyanosis, mottling, jaundice.
It also says I'm a well-nourished male.
Right. I have no idea what that means.
I think this medical record's missing a lot of things.
Oh, that was a good.
Yeah, but it doesn't document any physical injuries.
Doesn't seem to be documenting anything.
That actually was pretty smart
Probably
on
because
Amber's.
there was nothing to document, right, Ms. Hurd?
I disagree with you on that.
That was actually pretty well done by Amber. I got to give it to her.
You don't have any medical records
Gotta give it
reflecting
to
that you
her.
broke your
It
nose
also
during
says
your
I'm a
relationship
male.
with Mr. Depp, do you?
I saw an ENT after my relationship ended.
And you saw an ENT, it's your testimony under oath that you saw an ENT for broken noses that you sustained as a result of Mr. Depp?
No, but the ENT told me I sustained
Objection.
multiple fractures.
No, I'm going to move to strike. Your
I'll
Honor.
sustain the objection. I'll move to strike. Okay.
Thank you. So again, just to try my question, there's no medical records reflecting that you broke your nose during your relationship with Mr. Depp, is there, Ms. Hurd?
I don't know what made it in evidence, but I do know that I documented that visit and that
Oh my
everything was
God,
given
she
to my
won't stop.
attorneys.
Just answer
Ms.
the
Hurd,
question,
you never
honey.
went to see any doctor or surgeon to treat a broken nose during your relationship with Mr. Depp, yes or no?
I never sought treatment for broken nose while I was with Johnny.
Or after you were with Mr. Depp, as a result of any injuries you sustained as a result of Mr. Depp?
Afterwards, yes, I did.
And you didn't produce those medical records in this case.
I would object, Your Honor. She did.
I did.
I don't know.
They have not been produced, Your
Yet
Honor.
they've not only
All right,
been
if you would
produced.
come and approach.
Girl, it has not been produced that she had a broken nose. Why are they lying? What are these people doing? They're all getting up at the same time. Order in the courtroom. Order in the courtroom. Amber Heard's playing, what's her name over here playing Candy Crush? Amy Schumer. You know, you smell lovely today. I wore your favorite scent, Johnny. The scent of danger. I hope you enjoy it. I'm like a baked cookie over here in the oven.
You don't have any medical records reflecting that you required any dental work during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I don't know. I don't recall.
You don't recall one way or another seeking dental care for any injuries you allegedly sustained?
You asked me about if I had produced records or if I had records. That's a different question.
Did you ever see a dentist or an oral surgeon
Oh, good point, man.
as a result of any injuries you sustained with Mr. Depp?
Not about any injury I had from Johnny, no.
And you don't have any medical records reflecting that you required any reconstructive work during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I never required reconstructive work, so there would be no records.
Well, there you
What
go.
you do have, Ms. Heard, are pictures of Mr. Depp sleeping, though, right? The jury saw a lot of those.
Yes.
Ms. Heard, let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1090, which is already in evidence. You took this photograph, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
And you testified that this was taken in Tokyo in July of 2013, correct?
Yes.
So you decided to take a picture of Mr. Depp asleep on the floor?
He was passed out.
That's a
And I
yes.
took a picture of him because he wouldn't remember. He claimed he didn't pass out that way. And sometimes security would carry him like a baby into bed, get him changed, and he would be none the wiser. So I started taking pictures of it so that he knew that it was real, that it had gotten this bad.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1091, which is already in evidence. You took this picture as well.
Yes.
And this is a picture that was taken in the Bahamas, right?
It's one of them, yes.
And this is a picture of
Girl,
Mr. Depp taking a nap
all
on
that
his
money
tropical
he
island.
has, he needs to get an electrician in
believe
there.
he
Look at all the exposed
was on the
wires.
nod, but as he would say.
Sleeping on the nod on his island.
They're very different, in my opinion. And
Okay.
yes, he is on the island.
On vacation.
We were on vacation, yes.
Let's also take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1092, which is also in evidence. You also took this picture, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct. I did.
And this is another picture of Mr. Depp asleep in a chair.
No, he was nodding off. Sleep is different. When you're nodding off, you're high on drugs, didn't even feel the cigarette in his hand that had, been burning on his leg. It was cause for alarm for me, naturally, because I cared about him.
It's your testimony under oath that Mr. Depp is holding a cigarette in this picture?
He had been.
You seem to really like taking pictures of Mr. Depp while he's sleeping, don't you?
I hated it. I hated it.
Let's look at Defendant's
I
Exhibit
can't with her.
1094, which is
I
also in
hated
evidence.
it.
You took this picture of Mr. Depp as well, didn't you?
I did.
You decided to take a picture of Mr. Depp asleep with ice cream spilled all over him, right?
He was nodding off, and I was worried about how bad
Some
the
nasty looking
medications and
ice
the
cream.
medication
I mean, to
change
have
and
so
the
much
drug
money
usage
and
had
everything
gotten
looks so
where he
cheap.
wouldn't even feel ice cream or a lit cigarette on him, and it scared me.
So you took
Really.
a picture of it.
Yes, I wanted him to get help.
I don't know. I'm trying to
and
figure out what kind of
Johnny's surrounded by
drink it
enablers
is. It
to
said
clean up
something
after him.
sweet
Objection,
leaf.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to strike
Something
everything
sweet
after
leaf.
yes, that she took this picture.
Still responsive here on it.
The question was, did you take this picture?
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. This isn't a very flattering picture of Mr. Depp, is it?
No, it's not.
You wouldn't agree that this is, or you would agree with me that this is an embarrassing scene, right?
Yes, I think it's a part of getting help is looking at it, seeing it.
But you sent this picture to one of your friends, didn't you?
I don't recall.
If we could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 252. We'll only be looking at the portion of this document. So if we could please call it Defendant's Exhibit 252A.
252A.
And for ease, we've gone ahead and redacted it.
The sweet leaf I'm finding just didn't look like that.
Yes, I was asking for support. That's correct.
There's no question yet, Ms. Heard.
Totally.
So
They have
directing your
the
attention- I'm gonna move to
anti-flame
admit
retardant.
Exhibit 252A.
Any objection? Any objection, Ms. Frederick? Could you turn your microphone again? I'm sorry. Thank you.
I need to see it first because I don't know what they redacted.
Oh, she's drinking
Redacted
sweet
the
leaf water drops.
Identifiers.
Sweet
And
leaf
anything
stevia.
that's not
Stevia.
misheard.
Up or down on
Text messages. Consistent with hearsay.
What if it's a branding deal?
You ready? Maybe we approach?
Okay.
So she went and got it at Virginia Sweet Leaf. I think this is where she got it from. They must have pre-made drinks or something there. It says there's one in Virginia. Sweet Leaf Cafe, maybe? Or it could be Sweet Leaf, the stevia. But I can't find the water bottles that look like that. They're called Sweet Leaf Water Drops. But why would the bottle say it? Unless it was a branding deal. All the photos that are being shown, anybody can show them. They're public knowledge. You have to go to, I think it's the Virginia Courthouse website or something, and type in the docket number, and you can pull up all the evidence. Girl, not me on this website looking for this crap, because I want to try it. Girl, this has to be a brand deal for her, because she's even putting it towards the camera. But they did get smart with the monitors. They blocked out the brand so people wouldn't Google it. Yeah, I think she's drinking the mixed berry water drops. Amber Heard, Sweet Leaf.
Pop star.
Pop star.
Sir, does this refresh your recollection that you did in fact send this picture to your friend Rocky Pennington?
Yes, I did.
You sent it to her on August 7th, 2014 at 11:24 p.m., correct?
That is correct.
So you sent Miss Pennington this picture of Mr. Depp with ice cream spilled on him, right?
That is correct.
And you wrote, quote, "This is what I've been dealing with," end quote. Did I read that right?
You did read that right. That's correct.
And this is you protecting Mr. Depp?
That is me getting support from my best friend.
This is you supporting Mr. Depp?
This is me getting support from my best friend. I also need support.
You weren't afraid the monster would get upset that you took this picture?
This was opiate Johnny. This is a different version of him. This is opiate on the nod Johnny.
And you weren't afraid that opiate Johnny, or the monster as you called him, would get upset that you sent this picture to your friend?
Well, he's all of those things. Of course he could get upset. Of course that's scary to me, of course. But
didn't stop you from sending this picture to your friend, did it?
Why would it?
I mean, I believe he nodded. I mean, he was on heroin or
Mr. Depp's
drugs, opioids.
right hand is in his pocket,
But she just,
right, Ms. Heard? In this
yes,
picture?
that's correct.
Figured this. She didn't realize what she got into it because she got into the marriage for her
You
own,
also showed this jury
reasonings, her
pictures
career.
of cocaine.
and
recall
was like,
that?
damn, this is a money
Yes, that's
basket.
correct.
I'll use this to get the hell out of
Please take
this
a look at one of those.
situation.
If we could please pull
that's
up
what she
Defendant's
done.
Exhibit 167A, which is already in evidence. Directing your attention, Ms. Heard, to the photograph. This is a photograph you took in March of 2013, right?
That is correct.
And this was taken at your apartment in Orange?
Yes.
And this is your breakfast table?
That is
Totally,
correct.
Marshall.
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp left this breakfast table just the way you took it.
That is correct.
So this is what the table looked like after Mr. Depp had been doing cocaine?
Well, clearly he has yet to snort these lines.
There are 4 lines of cocaine on this table, right, Ms. Heard?
In this picture, I see 4 lines.
There isn't any cocaine residue around those lines, right?
Not that I can tell, no.
Doesn't really look like anyone's been doing cocaine off that table, does it?
With all due respect, I'm not sure you know how that works.
I'm asking if you do.
Oh.
You've testified you've done cocaine.
I have.
Doesn't really look like Mr. Depp or anyone was doing cocaine off that table, does it?
Not yet.
I beg to differ with you on that. When
There's
you snort
4
cocaine, typically it goes into your nose.
That
And there's
doesn't stay on the
residue.
table.
There's residue from that cocaine when your lips and nose touch the table, right?
Well, the tampon applicator next to the driver's license that you see is a device that I believe my sister had taught him to use in order to.
Girl, she blames everybody else. Why can't she just admit she's done it? You've already said you've done cocaine. What do you have to say? Your sister.
Mr. Depp is a pretty heavy smoker.
So
right?
weird.
He is.
And that's a cigarette
She's trying to
in the
say
ashtray
that
in
the photos
back
were
there.
taken before the cocaine was consumed.
Back right.
Yes, it looks like one of his hand rolls.
There's no other cigarettes in that ashtray, are there?
I see 1 cigarette.
The one that's not smoked.
That's correct.
There's no ash in that ashtray either, is there?
Not that I can tell in this picture.
It's pretty clean.
In this picture, it looks like it, yes.
It's a pretty neat table. Wouldn't you agree?
What? What?
Depends on what you would call neat, I suppose.
And you sent this picture to your friend, Rocky Pennington, as well, didn't you?
She's trying to make sure
I
she
sure did.
staged it.
And when you sent it, you said, quote, "Look at my morning," or something like that. Is that right?
Yay for mornings.
So you have a habit of sending staged photographs to your friend Rocky, don't you?
I had a habit of communicating with my best friend about what was going on in my life.
You don't have any pictures of Mr. Depp actually consuming cocaine, do you?
I don't think I have a picture of him mid-snort. No.
You don't even have any pictures of Mr. Depp with cocaine.
What do you mean by that?
Holding cocaine, standing next to cocaine, sitting next to cocaine.
I don't
Dating
know.
cocaine.
I don't know.
Well, you haven't shown any of those
Shoving a
pictures
bottle
like
up
that
the
to the jury,
cocaine
have you?
shine.
I don't know. No, I haven't.
And you were never able to catch Mr. Depp with cocaine on film either, were you?
I never tried.
But you were able to catch him sleeping, right?
I have seen him pass out in all sorts of places, yes.
Well, it doesn't hurt Johnny because
And you
we
also
all know he
captured a
does
video
drugs.
of Mr. Depp
in my
in
opinion.
the kitchen that was played again for this jury today.
What does that have to do with hitting him?
Beating up some cabinets.
Or hitting
Do you recall
her?
that?
Sorry, say that again?
You recall capturing Mr. Depp in the kitchen of one of his homes, beating
I
up
mean,
some
I think
cabinets?
she was really the cocaine
Yes.
user. He might use
Slamming
it, but
things around, yes.
So you took that video of Mr. Depp
I think
in
he
the
was
kitchen,
on the
right?
opioids
I
more
did.
than anything.
I did.
And you took it on one of your iPad devices?
Hello,
I
Price.
took it on my iPad.
She took it on her
You were
iPad with her
deposed in
tampon
August of
pen.
2016 in connection with your divorce proceedings from Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And you will
Her
recall
argument
that the
is
video of Mr. Depp in
Amber
the kitchen
set
was
all these
released
scenes
online
up.
the day
She's trying to
before your
you know,
deposition. in August
To do
of
photos to
2016,
set an
don't you?
example.
That's correct.
So she could
You're the one who released that
go to
video.
court.
Isn't that true?
That's incorrect. I flew in from another place at the time. I remember learning about it when I landed.
So it's just a coincidence that the video you took of Mr. Depp was released the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp.
I absolutely had nothing to do with that. I wouldn't even know how to do something like that.
What? Setting precedent that she's a
You
liar.
settled your divorce
Yeah.
from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
I think that's Amber Heard's
That sounds
dad
right.
here, y'all.
And in connection with that settlement, you received $7 million from Mr. Depp. True?
That's correct.
And then
6.8 exactly.
your settlement amount was $7 million.
That's correct.
And then you released a statement in which you claimed you would be donating the entire $7 million to charity, right?
That's correct.
No,
You
that's
stated
not
you
her
would
dad.
be donating half of the
Her
$7
dad
million
looks like a
to the
cowboy.
ACLU,
That's correct.
and you would be donating the other half to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
That is correct.
And you also stated, with respect to the $7 million divorce settlement, that money played no role except for the extent that you could donate the money to charity.
Yes, that's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1259. This is an article entitled Amber Heard Donates Johnny Depp Divorce Settlement to Charity. Read her statement in full. Is that correct?
That's what the title says, yes.
Directing your attention to the portion on the second page where it says, quote, read the statement below.
Oh, that's a good
Is
point,
that the statement
Harold.
you released, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit the statement and the article as redacted.
Objection, hearsay.
It's her statement.
She's on something though. You could tell. I think she took a
This is some. This
She
is,
just testified, Your Honor, that it's her
She's on
statement.
some type of appeal right now, though, because
Yeah, I see the
look how
full-
she's reading with her whole
Everything else
hand.
is redacted.
You don't read like that, honey.
Okay, then I have no objection.
All right, 1259 in evidence as redacted.
The statement reads, as described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity, and in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves. As reported in the media, the amount received in the divorce was $7 million, and $7 million is being donated. This is over and above any funds that I have given away in the past and will continue to give away in the future. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct. I don't remember that last line, but I have no... it doesn't stand out to me as wrong.
There's nothing inaccurate in the statement.
Not that I recognize, no.
Mr. Depp donated $100,000 of the divorce settlement directly to the ACLU. Is that right?
Right at the beginning of the divorce settlement, he donated $100,000 to each charity on my behalf or towards my contribution.
So $100,000
To each.
to the ACLU.
And to the Children's Hospital.
And in response, you publicly demanded that Mr. Depp pay the divorce settlement directly to you instead of the charities, right?
That was always the agreement, actually, is for him to pay me directly. It was not his money as per the settlement agreement to give away and reap a tax benefit from. I said if he wants to do it and give to charity all of a sudden, then he should pay the correct amount and not try to get a big tax break for it. So effectively for his tax bracket, he should be paying double that amount to the charity directly. And if he wanted to pay the charity directly, he could. He could do that, it was fine with me, but he would need to pay the adjusted amount.
Ultimately, the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement was paid directly to you, right?
Over time, yes.
And Mr. Depp didn't end up paying the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement directly to the charities you identified.
That is correct. He paid the installments to me.
You
See,
stopped
she's
that
not
from
a dumb
happening,
woman.
didn't you?
She knows money. And listen to
I don't
how she's
understand what your
talking.
question is. I'm sorry.
But
You
the
stopped
taxes,
Mr.
which
Depp
I
from
said a
paying the
long time
charities
ago
that you
when we were
had
discussing
named
this.
Directly.
That is incorrect. I said if you want
She
to pay
gets
the
the tax
charities
benefit
directly,
of it.
pay the adjusted
And
amount.
then she's a speaker
or
for the
pay
ALS.
as per our agreement in the settlement or in the divorce.
For the organization.
As per our agreement.
She's getting paid
You also
$300,000.
and he chose to do the former, not the latter. I mean, the other way around.
You also publicly stated that the $7 million divorce settlement should be paid to the charities immediately in full, right?
If he wanted to pay it in the way that he was suggesting, yes.
And you said publicly that the payments to the charities should not be drawn out over many years, right?
I said that I don't recall the exact words that I used, but basically that he shouldn't use this as a novel interest in getting a tax break. That if he wanted to do that and not pay me the settlement, that was fine, but he would have to pay the adjusted amount and not make it, a commitment he would not fulfill or try to avoid in some other way.
And that's because you wanted the entire world to think that you were donating every penny of the $7 million divorce settlement as soon as you received it from Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
No, I was going to be receiving it in installments, and I would be paying in installments the donations.
In fact, you released a statement in response to Mr. Depp's $100,000 donations to the ACLU and CHLA, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Let's see if we can refresh your recollection. If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1260.
Girl, the coughs in that courtroom.
This is an article entitled Amber Heard and Johnny Depp Row Over Divorce Donations. And if I could direct your attention to where it says, I believe it's on the second page. Her spokeswoman responded in a statement. The language that follows the statement you released.
Objection, hearsay, spokeswoman, it's not her.
A spokesperson is an exception, Your Honor.
You want to come forward?
Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I'm alive. Da, 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 da. She's showing Johnny some of her personal photos. Johnny, here's my photo I took when I was in Maui, Maui. Before I was truly Amy Schumer. What do you think about this one, Johnny? Look at that one. It's me and a bear. That.
You released a statement
Your Honor, may we approach again?
Okay.
Gee. Girl. Johnny, when you get a moment, if you will look at this photo, I was in a bathhouse in Ethiopia when I took these photos before I became Amy Schumer. I hope these are some photos that will trigger your memories and hopefully send you down a road of success and laughter and fun.
Before we ask the next question, I'll just hand you a copy of this one.
I want to see it before you ask.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's exactly what I said.
Oh, we heard a little banter between them, honey. That's exactly what I said.
Your Honor, would you like to see one as well?
No, that's all right. That's fine. Thank you.
Girl, all the paper is very ASMR. Girl, if she starts, like, cooking fried rice, I'm gonna fall out.
Could you please turn your microphone on? I'm sorry, Ms. Burhoff.
Your Honor, they gave me a redacted, but I don't have the unredacted to be able to see the full.
I plan to admit it, or ask that it be admitted in redacted form. I'm taking away any hearsay, and I'm just trying to lay the foundation that this is a statement she released through a spokesperson.
How would I know whether there's more to it that shouldn't be redacted, Your Honor, if I don't see the full document?
Your Honor, the witness can testify as to whether this is a full statement or not.
The witness can't do, we have the right to be
Okay,
able to
approach
see
the bench.
document.
All right. Do you have a document that's not redacted?
We can pull it up on our computers.
Okay.
Just give us a moment, Your Honor.
All right.
I can represent this is the full statement that's reported.
Okay, give her an opportunity to look at the unredacted one.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. He got on his phone. Police officer telling him not to get on his phone. Oh, he got it again. It's in his hand. He's gone. He's gone. He's out of there. Did y'all see him? He picked the phone up and still pointed it. Watch him. There it is. He pulled it back out after he told him to put it up. Look, it's right there. And then at that point, that's when the police officer was like, nope, I'm coming to get you. Then shrugs like, I don't care. I do what I want. Asshole. I don't understand why people can't follow rules.
Sorry, Ms. Braddock. May I approach?
Yes.
Jesus.
So, Your Honor, can we have a copy of this?
Yeah, you can get a copy of that
After.
later today. Okay.
Right.
All right.
I mean, I think she should be giving us copies of the full.
Well, I
thing
understand. But
before.
we'll take care of that. But
She's just
as
trying to
of right
hold.
now,
She's trying to
can we
stall.
continue?
We can, Your Honor, but I have an objection because of there's some quotation marks missing.
Okay, come forward.
Girl, this is insane. They're just stalling. Johnny, the way you draw me in your little notebook is something that I have never seen before. I've been painted by many men and many women, and they've never got my full stature in such elegance and coy. Might I just say, you are the true painter of a generation, Johnny. Johnny, will you paint me also, honey? Of course. Paint you with the finest Crayolas. I'll paint you with the finest Crayolas.
All right. So directing your attention, Ms. Heard, where it says her spokeswoman responded in a statement.
Your
The
Honor-
language that follows.
Your Honor, again, she can't read it. She has to show it
The
to
language
her.
that follows.
Right. If you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that, go ahead.
You released a statement after Mr. Depp donated $100,000 to the ACLU and $100,000 to CHLA. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And the language that follows is the statement you released in response to Mr. Depp's donations, right?
Carl's
I don't know if
Jr.
this
Mega
is
Man.
the official statement. I have no idea.
The statement that starts
Waffle
at
House.
Amber Heard. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Would you please read that to yourself, Ms. Heard?
Yes.
Did you read all the way to the very bottom where the last word is supported?
You can tell she bites her lip, because even right here, you could tell she's been biting it. That one spot.
Yes.
Okay. That's a statement you released through your spokeswoman after Mr. Depp made the donations to the CHLA and the ACLU. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I do not recall exactly what my statement was. I don't disagree with anything in the statement, but I just simply don't recall what the statement was we released.
Is there anything inaccurate in that statement, Ms. Heard?
No.
Okay. I'm going to move to admit.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. 1260 in evidence over objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news. And it continues. However, if Johnny wishes to change the settlement agreement, we must insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber. And it continues. We would also insist that the full amount be paid immediately and not drawn out over many years. Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Thank you. After this, you kept commenting about the donation of your divorce settlement, right?
I don't know what you mean by that.
All right, that
You spoke about donating your
that
divorce
stuff she's
settlement
got is
on a
from
Danish
Sweet
TV
Leaf
show,
Cafe,
correct?
Virginia.
I believe I said I had.
I finally found it.
I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You appeared on a show called RTL Late Night, right?
I don't recall what show it was.
If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 346, which is a portion of your appearance on this program. And we would ask that it be moved into evidence and ask for permission to publish it.
It contains, it has hearsay, it contains other communications with other individuals.
Your Honor.
Oh,
if
why
we
are
may
they going
approach
so
very
slow?
briefly.
There we go. Lord. They're just trying to run out the clock for today. Because next week's it. I mean, the judge isn't going to extend it. Objection, Your Henny. Lack of foundation, lipstick, and mascara. That's a good one, Pricey.
The devil is dancing tonight.
So if we could please play and publish to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 346.
346 in evidence.
There allegedly were all kinds of accusations flying your way when you said all this, and then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money, but then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. It's called the American Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard of.
I wanted nothing.
This interview was in October of 2018, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't recall when it was.
It was in 2018, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't remember when this was done.
This was after you had received the full $7 million of your divorce settlement for Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
Again, without knowing when it was recorded, I have no idea.
Okay. $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1458, which is already in evidence. This is the deal point memorandum from your divorce settlement, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
And if we go down to the bottom of page 4, there's a heading labeled Equalization Payment. Do you see that?
Yes.
And underneath that, it outlines a payment schedule for the divorce payments, correct?
Yes.
Well, it begins to. And if we go on page 5, so the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016, and that's $200,000, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made that payment directly.
You got to turn on your microphone, Ms. Berderhoff. I'm not going to hear you.
Objection to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to. That.
Okay.
It's he literally testified to it in court.
I'll overrule objection. Go
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made the payment directly to the ACLU and CHLA, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And then the rest of the payments were all made to you, weren't they?
That is correct.
And the final payment of $2.3 million is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule, right?
I don't believe they were. He might have
That's
testified
not my
to
question, Ms. Heard. My question was, you were here in court when Mr. White testified under oath that all of the payments were made on schedule.
I was here every day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay. So back to October of 2018. This was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would agree with me?
That is correct.
Okay. And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp?
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote. Right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I
She
pledged it
donated
right
one
then.
time, and then she had
And you
Elon
say
Musk
this
donate for
because
her.
You, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire
Yep.
$7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
She keeps
Sitting
lying.
here today, Ms. Heard,
She
you
just
still
caught her.
haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms. Heard,
settlement,
that's
$7
not
million
my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Heard,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard,
those obligations.
Ms. Heard, that's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you
Oh,
have not
she's
donated
coming for her,
the
honey.
$7 million.
Girl, look at number
donated.
11. She's
Not pledged,
loving this.
Donated the $7 million.
Look at her, she's giggling.
Divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with
No,
one another.
no,
But I don't.
no,
Ms. Heard,
no.
I don't
Answer
use
the
it
question.
synonymously.
Get
That's
her,
how
honey.
donations are paid.
Ms. Heard, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today, you have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity.
This lady
right?
looks familiar.
I
She's
have not
a
been
comedian.
able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it. Wasn't interested in it.
What?
I loved Johnny. That's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
You wanted the
You
tax
wanted good
break.
press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name. And at the time, I was being called a liar and my motives were being questioned. I did see it as important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
You wanted to remind everyone of your claims of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, you wanted to be seen, as a noble victim of domestic violence,
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim. Nor have I ever called myself one.
You testified under
She's
oath
rattling
that,
her.
quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after.
Get her, honey.
You testified under oath, quote,
Girl, she
the
is
entirety
getting her,
of your
honey.
divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
Jesus.
All right.
Yes, there is.
No,
There's nothing that she was talking about.
this is really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection and we'll just move forward.
Thank you.
Let's move forward. Next question.
Get her, honey. It is inappropriate.
Under
This
oath,
girl's
that
younger
statement
than
wasn't
this
true,
other
was it,
lawyer.
Ms.
She
Heard?
should not be acting like this.
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
Obviously, yes, you can have some play in a courtroom, but
testified under
not
oath,
to this
quote,
extent.
the
It's
entirety of my divorce
unprofessional.
settlement was
It's nothing
donated
against
to
Amber Heard
charity, end
with
quote.
this. It's about her
That
lawyer,
statement
her
wasn't true.
representative.
It is true. I pledged the entirety
It's
to charity.
unprofessional.
The statement,
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Heard,
entire
Ms.
house
Heard,
at one
respectfully,
time. You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Heard.
All right. Next question, please.
Thank you. That statement isn't true today.
This
As you
is
sit here today, is it?
ridiculous.
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But
to
you didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a
obligations.
no, right, Ms. Heard?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear.
Ah,
I pledged
just
the entirety.
answer the
I haven't
question,
been able to fulfill those
Amber.
pledges because
This
I've been
is
sued.
not doing
had
you any
all of the $7
good.
million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to. Is that correct, Ms.
I
Hurd?
disagree with your characterization of that.
This is
Let's look at your
insane.
sworn testimony from the UK.
This is honestly insane. And see, it's so weird because, like, the lawyer is acting the same way Amber is. Amber's acting the same way the lawyer is. So it's like
Thank you.
It's so unprofessional, and it doesn't do her any good. Like, it's just so bizarre. That girl's got a Sweetwater bottle, just like Amber.
Okay. There's this light coming across.
So I appreciate that.
Has to be a
It's
little
probably good
uncomfortable.
light.
It's like
Thank you,
Jesus,
girl.
honey, because it was lightning during Amber, and now listen, I'm not religious. I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm sorry, hardcore Christian, but it was lightning and bad weather when Amber was up there talking during her time, and now there's like Jesus light on her.
This is your third witness statement that you submitted in the UK.
But that is
action, right, Ms. Hurd?
nerve-wracking to have all
Correct.
that in
And
there.
the statement was made under oath. True?
It's like,
I'm
girls,
directing your attention to the last page.
Turbo Hand has
of that
pledged to me to give me $2 million,
That's your signature, right?
right? And,
Yes, it is.
And
So
his
you made
yacht.
the sworn statement on
But Turbo
February
Hand never
26,
gave me it. He just pledged that he was
2020.
going to give me $2 million
That's
and
correct.
a yacht.
And
Like,
directing your attention
girl,
to
they're not.
paragraph
The
4.
jury's not stupid. 2.2 million. I'm sorry, Turbo Hand.
It says,
Like, I pledged to allegiance.
quote, I
People say
remained
that all the
financially
time.
independent from him the whole time we were together, and the entire amount of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
The him you were referring to is Mr. Depp.
That is correct.
Jeez.
Most of the money that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
The majority of the money.
$500,000 that was donated to the
Elon
ACLU in
Musk.
your name wasn't paid by you, right?
I believe Elon made a donation in my honor on one of the years.
Yeah, and it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement, right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
You tried to get it
And at
too.
least $500,000 that was donated to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
Right, those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000 payments came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
Oh, she's about to get under
I
her
don't know if he was a
skin.
new boyfriend at the time.
Look at her
You got
smiling.
him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities, didn't you?
Incorrect.
Because you wanted to keep at least some of the $7 million divorce settlement for yourself, right?
You're very wrong about that.
I think this, if Your Honor is
Okay,
fine,
you said
this is a good
it's
stopping
breaking
point.
point. Okay, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop here for the evening.
She's
Remember,
leaving it
tonight,
on
do not
this.
do any outside
She's
research.
gonna be
Do not discuss the
seething
case
on
with
this
anybody. I know
all
these days are a little
overnight.
longer, and I appreciate your
Believe me,
patience,
all these
patience
words
and
and
your,
they
taking care of
choose all
everything
this
here.
on purpose.
Please take care of yourself
They
tonight,
probably,
okay?
she
And we'll see you in the
probably
morning at 9 a.m.
joined with a psychologist how to get under a narcissist's skin.
All right. And again, Ms. Hurd, since you're still on the witness stand, please do not discuss your testimony with anybody to include your
Oh
attorneys,
yeah,
okay?
she'll do it again.
All right, 9 o'clock tomorrow then? All right, we'll see you at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Oh my God, girls. It has been a ride, girl. It is so spicy. Well, I'm definitely not missing it tomorrow. I will be, girl, I'm going to put on a shock collar. And get myself up, honey. But again, I mean, I don't think there won't be any ramifications for her discussing it with her lawyer, obviously. I mean, this is not, again, a criminal trial. It's not a criminal trial. Who is the trial? Girl, whoever that is loves the bottle, honey, because she is red, honey. Go ahead, Steven Spielberg. Well, girls, it's been fun. Girl, I didn't realize my camera was off. Oh my God. Girls, it's really been fun. It's really been fun. I mean, I don't want to say I hope you had a good time. You know, I mean, these are people's lives. Again, you know, it's just so sad that all this happened. You know, I think Amber, obviously, I mean, Johnny Depp has issues. I totally agree with that. Do I think he ever abused her? No. But I totally agree she abused him. And I think she got in... I think she did get with him at first because of the fame. You know, she, like the one doctor said, like her personality, she becomes whoever she is with the person, you know? But I think she just didn't realize she was going to get with a person that was this far down into drugs. And I think she set all this up just to get out of it. You know, and I think she just rode the wave of the Me Too movement in some ways and thought she could, you know, use that as a good career builder, maybe. I don't know. It's more complicated. It's, you know, obviously just, it's totally insane. But at the end of the day, I heard, even though I don't support what she did, I think it's horrible. I still feel bad because, you know, I mean, she's ruined her career. Obviously, there's something more going on with her. She's ruined both of their career. You know, she's ruined both of their careers. It's just so disgusting. I don't like to see anybody canceled. Especially, I mean, this is the private matter. But girl, we are definitely going to check it out. And totally, men can be victims as well. That's true. Just because he was on drugs does not mean he deserves abuse. You know. Now, I have to go because I have to go talk to my gardener and some of my housekeepers because they've been slacking, and you better believe I'm about to pull a Karen, y'all. About to have some words. Brenda, you call that clean? Sorry, girls, I gotta take care of this. It's been fun, y'all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Sherry, for reminding me. Girl, I'm gonna wear a shock collar, honey. All right, bye, everybody. Have a good evening. Okay, y'all? Bye, y'all.